You ended the
Don't you ever forget, the captain could take the ship down with him if he has to. Fire it back
Oh
up.
man, I gotta get these cutthroats this link again now.
Fire it back up.
Well, I guess that's what I get.
I said, okay, motherfucker. Okay. All right. You guys want to play with my ship? Watch this.
Oh man, we lost 20 viewers though.
That's all right. It was worth it.
Man, you went OG with it. AJ Create just donated 3 lemons. No, don't you guys? No, You guys don't encourage that from Captain.
We back on?
We are back on.
Yeah. Don't you ever forget, the captain will take the goddamn ship down with him.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. Burn the ships, huh?
We'll get everybody back in here. I'm not proper right now, so I'm not showing my face. I'm gonna go clean up. I just got into the hotel. I'm gonna go clean up, and then I'll meet you guys up there in about 10
All right.
minutes. I'll be there. Got some shit to talk about.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to hear it. So hurry up.
All right.
Go finish fluffing yourself or whatever you're doing, and then get back in here.
I'm worried about it because I couldn't get the Wi-Fi password. I went to the front desk with all eager and like, I need a Wi-Fi password. What's going on? How come I can't get Wi-Fi in my room?
Oh.
And so the lady's like, gosh, this guy really needs his FAP session bad or something.
Go fapping it out.
I didn't realize it until after I was done. Like, I'm just sitting there like going nuts trying to get the Wi-Fi password. Ladies going, it's okay, bro. It'll be there in a minute, you know.
Yeah.
Going nowhere.
Oh, AJ Create just threw thanks man for throwing out another diamond. He said, and here's another diamond. And so he is encouraging this, I think is what he's trying to say with. He's encouraging your behavior there, Captain. And Billy Boy Crypto just threw a diamond to us and said, I got 860,000 hex for 400 uni. Welcome, Captain.
Nice.
That's a hell of a trade there, my friend.
Nice. Good job, bud. Good.
Totally worth it.
That's pirate shit right there.
And now we got some bouncing kitties, hex kitties all over the screen.
Hey, so you know there's a rank structure here. Right? It's I'm the captain, and you're.
Hold on one second, Peter. Hold on, Peter. What'd you say? So what's this rank structure? Give me this BS.
You guys are the Buccaneers. You two freaking clowns. You and my point. You're just the Buccaneers. I'm the captain. This is my ship. Take the motherfucker down if I have to. Now, the other thing is, that's the other ship over there. That's Hexologist. He's captain of his ship, and you can call RH. You can call him the Pirate King, and then the rest of these guys are all, cutthroats and pirates. So anybody's in the cutthroat room is a cutthroat, and the rest of you all are a bunch of damn pirates. If you need me to be so.
Well, I guess I'm not at the bottom of that structure, so I guess I'll take that.
No, but you're gonna be at the bottom of the freaking ocean. You keep fucking with me.
You know what? I love you to death, Captain, but you don't scare me, bro.
I know. I'll be back in a minute. You fuck.
All right, man. Sounds good. All right. Adding everybody back up. Yeah, Peter, I could hear you. So that's how. I don't know if you can hear us, but we can hear you, Peter. So.
Are we back live?
And then everybody back on. Yep. So that's what we get for messing with, trying to pull mutiny. He just ends the stream.
That was awesome. That was so pirate.
Yeah, it was.
I'm so proud of him.
Oh man, that's awesome.
So did you figure out happened? Did he just end the stream? That's it?
Yeah, because I wouldn't let him on. Every time he popped in, I just kept removing him from the screen. I figured, if he can't be here on time, maybe I'll just end it on him. And I had no idea he would just reach up and hit the end broadcast button.
Peter, where are you located? Are you Dutch or Danish? What's up?
Slovakia, Bratislava.
Slovakia. Oh yeah, I'm moving to Prague as soon as I know what things are going well.
Yeah, I heard that on the last stream, and
Yeah.
the Czech Republic is really bad with the Corona situation.
Yeah, even Slovakia closed its borders to Czech Republic. That's so stupid.
Yeah.
And they used to be one country.
Yeah.
I just saw that in the news because I pay attention to that part of Europe's news because that's my favorite part of Europe, and it's just crazy. Absolutely
Interesting.
crazy.
So
my friend owns they just opened an office in Bratislava. I'm sorry, Kinetics, sorry, but they opened up Institute of Crypto Anarchy office in Bratislava. So
like the Czech guy.
yeah, he's Czech, Pavel, and now he's got an office in Bratislava, so you'll be able to do events and things there as well.
Okay, I heard something, but I don't know the details.
That's why I was telling you guys the other night where I think we could do some HEX events and stuff. We could do it in Prague, but also in Peter's main, I think Bratislava is the capital, right?
Yes.
So they have one there too. So, I mean, we got that sewn up.
Okay,
I'd go back.
Let's do something.
Yeah.
I'd go back to Prague. I love Prague.
Oh,
It's such a
fucking
fun
A,
city.
man. Oh, man.
I never been to Prague, and everybody tells me that it's a nice city.
Walking
Yeah,
on
like-
the Karlov Most after a nice rain, and I was thinking, gosh, if I ever marry anybody, I'm going to ask her to marry me here.
Oh,
Never
man.
got back there again, but I thought, gosh, this place is awesome.
Dude, Annabelle and I spent a total of 3 weeks there. Oh, man, every night was amazing. Every night. It was just walking around, so romantic. Okay, Kinetic, sorry. We went on a segment.
all right, enough of your romanticisms.
Yeah, I asked her to marry me in a Hooters.
Yeah. And you didn't say yes?
Everybody clapped, so that's not true.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I was just gonna say, isn't that one of the most crypto-friendly countries in the world that's not even officially a country right now between Slovakia and Czech, right there, Liber?
No, Liberland, that's down on the border of Serbia and Croatia, I believe.
In Croatia? Okay.
Yeah, that's down there.
I knew there was an S and a C in there somewhere. Okay. That makes
But
sense.
Vit Vendrika, he lives in Prague.
Okay.
The founder, the president of Liberland lives in Prague.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a neat idea. I mean, they're not getting a lot of support, but it's pretty neat.
Yeah, I hope they get it done, though. I mean, they got a nice piece of land. They could turn it into a small town.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice. Then we can see what the actual libertarian lifestyle, how that works. Try the libertarian experiment and see how that works.
That's the idea.
Yep. I'm hoping so. Motley Investor, thanks, bro. I appreciate you pointing out the obvious. So maybe you get the title Captain Obvious, but he says, I agree. Girls are hot. So good on you, bro.
I think
Water's
he's
wet.
referring to the Czech girls.
Oh, here we go. Here he is. The myth, the man, the myth, and the legend.
What's up, Hexo?
He is here. He's like, I'm here.
Here,
I'm in the building.
here for you guys. What's up, guys?
It's good to see you, brother.
Just hanging out.
Randy, by the way, thank you for the uni drop, bro.
Yeah, thanks, guys. You're welcome, guys. Hey, and I just happened to be, because sometimes I just keep your voice going on in the background. Sorry. And I just run over to Twitter to check what's going on. And it just happened. I saw it in the show. I was just on Twitter.
on
I'm like, what's this? Airdrop to Uniswap people? And at first, on the show, Hexo, you thought it was, or somebody said that it wasn't worth anything. So we just kind of blew it off.
Yeah.
And then when we started the Discourse Syndicate, I think it was Litecoin Moses said, yeah, these things are like $4 each right now. We're all like, what?
Yeah. I'm
Dude,
sorry,
it's
what? Yeah.
Hey, Hexo, how much did you make on that $3 transaction?
Which one?
I think you mentioned there was a tweet. Did you made just a test transaction for $3?
Oh yeah. I did. I'm like, I
That's a huge
like
ROI.
$1,600 on a $3. Yeah, because I opened up a bunch of accounts just to like do tutorials. So I would just open up account and make a do a MetaMask and then I'd forget about it. And then I just opened them all up the other night and I was like, oh my gosh. Sell. Everybody's making fun of me, man. But I had like probably six wallets in total.
Ooh, I love it.
Nice.
Yeah. I sold the rest of it today. Only because I sold most of it at like $3.50, but sold the rest of it at $6.50. So people are kind of like, oh, you sold. Like, yeah, I got free hex out of it, guys. I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Did you guys see my show earlier today? It said 94.2% is held by or the top 100 holders own 94% of it. So
and that's the hex, right? That's a hex holder, you're saying?
No. 94% hold uni of the top. So like, there's only like out of it's not saying it's gonna get sold down pretty hard, but it could. It could.
Yeah,
well,
it definitely could.
People called it. They said that Uniswap was the reason why they went to version 2 is because they were bringing on investors, and that they had to become profitable in some way.
Yep.
So then they had to add a coin, and we're lucky to get the first airdrop.
Yeah.
Even though I only had one wallet that I used Uniswap with, but now I'm going to go back and I'm going to use like 5 wallets with Uniswap just in case they do it.
Oh, Uniswap, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, think about these things, guys, right? Because Uniswap's gonna be like, hey, or 1inch exchange can be like, hey, maybe we should do it too.
Yeah,
yeah.
True. Well, they have that chi token too, so maybe they can throw. If you've ever used it, maybe you get some free chi tokens.
Well, the nice thing is too, think about it as marketing. Didn't cost them anything. They minted $750 or $500 million worth of value in one claim phase that everyone else had to pay the gas fees on, and then look at all the free publicity they get out of it on top of all of that.
Yeah,
so
true.
So
I thought it was $1 billion. Was it only $250 million?
Last I checked, it was just above Doge at like 350 million or something like that.
Oh, okay, I see.
But it was like one space ahead of Doge. But that was earlier today, and I've been driving a lot today. I had to go do some. Insurance inspections and some reviews on some big high end commercial properties and things. So I wasn't able to sit on my computer like I usually do while I'm working and listen to everything in the background. So,
yeah.
But I heard at one point in time it got up to $8, and so.
But there's They have 1 billion total coins, is what.
Yeah,
but they're gonna slow release them. They're gonna slow release them over 4 years. And so I actually had a conversation while I was in the car driving today with Gary with Funding Jim, Gifting You Hex. And he had a great point is you might as well open up some extra wallets and maybe provide some liquidity. If you guys still have some there's a uni Hex that you can provide liquidity for the rest of the newcomers that are coming and earn a little bit of something and maybe be rewarded in the future if that's how they decide to distribute it in the future.
What do you mean?
I'm for default. I think we should all do it. Provide liquidity. That's the future, man. Even though if you do not pump your bags, you provide really good things for the community.
Yeah. So going back to Hexologist, your question, you asked what I mean. Well, if this is going to be their distribution model going forward, is to reward the users and the liquidity providers. Well, then it might be in our best interest to open several wallets and not only, even if it's just a little bit of Uni/Hex, and put together the Uni/Hex pair, and make sure to do a few transactions and some extra wallets. We may get another claim phase later down the road.
Yeah.
So so only 150 million were distributed to previous Uniswap wallets and providers. But unless you read the blog, you may not have known that there's actually an extra 20 million. So they minted 170 million, and 20 million of them went to the fund, to the Uniswap foundation.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I hope the OA Rex. Well, hopefully they don't sell down on them, but hopefully they have some control of what starts getting posted on Uniswap. That's one of the
Oh, absolutely. Hey, now we're your biggest token holder.
right.
It's time to stop gatekeeping us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I will sell your coin to nothing.
Very true. Very true.
I saw Jeff, guys, Jeff Perdakis, the founder of Uptrend, social media platform, and TrustSwap. He got like 38,000, and it's just because he was providing liquidity to his own project.
Jeez.
Dang.
38,000.
That's
Just
insane.
imagine what the OA did.
Exactly. Because I know TrustSwap just launched like 2 months ago, and OA has been providing liquidity for what?
Also, HEX has been #1 on liquidity, right?
For a long time it was.
Yeah. Until a couple weeks ago, or until like 2 months ago.
Yep. And then most of it got moved to version 2 since version 2 was getting all the eyes, but the liquidity hasn't gotten as large as it ever was on version 1. Not last I checked anyway. So in case I'm wrong, feel free guys to correct me. I'm okay with being wrong.
With the liquidity?
Yeah. I don't think
The
we've ever
highest?
been as high on version 2 as we ever were on version 1.
Oh no.
No,
I don't think so.
Yeah. But I'm glad that I'm glad there's someone there providing it. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
So can we vote HEX to be listed if we hold Uni? Supposedly so. So it is a governance token. The problem with it's going to be is that everyone that takes it to Binance or KuCoin or wherever else it's listed to trade with, technically you're giving Binance your voting authority. So
Yeah.
I hope you guys understand that.
Yeah, and anybody who's used Steam knows what this feels like.
Yeah.
When
Good point.
Justin Sun had total control of Steam, and because KuCoin and Binance gave him the power to take over all the voting rights, because all the coins were on Binance and KuCoin, and he just went in there and asked permission. Hey, can I use these coins to get my coins back? And totally screwed the Steam community. So
Yeah.
sorry, Justin. I got nothing against you, bro.
But it does suck to be on the wrong end of it. Regardless.
Right now, we are peaking at liquidity on V2.
What is V2 liquidity right now?
It says 3.2 million.
Well, we had 14 million at one point in time on version
That's
1.
me, I guess.
Wait, is that 3.2 million?
Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
That's what it shows.
That's like no, that must be version 1. Right?
No,
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because
I
version
think
let me
it's-
see. Oh, it's 1 billion 1 billion hex on the hex side, and then 8,348 Ethereum on the Ethereum side of the pool.
What the heck?
If you go to Trading View and just look at the hex ETH pair, it'll show it up at the top how much is in there.
Oh, cool. We got,
And then you can click the hex or the Ethereum pair there. It says $6,344,151 million. $6 million.
Captain's back.
what if I do this?
Oh, geez.
He climbed up the rope ladder with a knife in his mouth.
Dare do it again, you scurvy. Especially when there's another captain in the house.
Ooh,
Welcome,
yeah.
Hexologist, to
What's up?
the pirate ship of Discourse Syndicate. How you doing,
All right.
buddy?
Well, I'm doing all right,
Dex.
man. Yeah.
Good having you here, man. Wow, that's
Yeah,
like
man.
2 weeks in a row you've hit us up.
I know. I told my wife, I was like, I'm doing it tonight because I was going to come out on Monday, and she was like, can I get some help here? And I was like, all right, but Friday I'm going on there on Friday. You're gonna have to be without me for a little bit.
Like, don't make Hexo mad. We saw what he's like when he's mad.
Yeah, there's nobody to get wrecked tonight. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
We're all good.
Totally.
I can't believe it's Friday.
Right, dude. We only got 60 days left until the big payday. I can't believe that.
I know.
That's crazy.
It's almost surreal, isn't it?
Yeah, especially like doing it every single day. I'm actually kind of anticipating it. Like, oh yes, finally, come on, please, so I can take a day off, please. just one day. I just want
one day off. Yeah. Well, I guess you can have it in 61 days after your
I got 2
24
months
hours
of talking. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I'm gonna take a whole day off, guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to take a whole day off after the 24-hour stream.
You'll actually be able to enjoy your holidays again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
I've done.
Stream kicks your ass. I mean, that is.
Yeah, it does.
a tough one.
You gonna be there, RG3? You gonna be there this time?
Oh, of course I will.
Not like last time.
What's that?
Being there the whole time, we only got to see your computer almost start up in flames last time. We had to shut RG3 down half the time. He was like, "This thing's starting to smoke, my friends. I don't know if I'm gonna last."
That's not a good sign.
That's when I was on my laptop back in those days.
Yeah.
And I literally had to go into the freezer and get my I have an ice pack.
You had ice pack.
And my knee, and I put it underneath my computer just to get those last few hours in.
Yeah, you had the pirate booty all behind you. we were seeing RG3 like coming in and out of reality. Sometimes it was great, man. That was
that was hilarious, man. That was a crazy show.
I need to post it again. I need to post that thing. There's just
real quick.
There's Judas Hexcariot on there, so I just
yeah.
Should I post it or just I don't really care. It's not like he says anything bad, but
yeah.
Go ahead, Kinetics.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Blaster Master wanted to point out the FAP sesh must be over, and the Motley Investor requested that you hide all the tissues instead of leaving them out. So,
what do you think he's laying on, guys? Oh, that's hilarious.
The wet spot.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, Alan's out of beer.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Alan, you're from Germany, Germany, right? German. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you guys love your beer over there. I mean,
we love beer. It's like my
He's
my
got
second
one right now.
beer I just drunk.
Oh, really? Damn.
Yeah.
What's the boot called out of that one movie? What's the
You mean beer? I don't know.
Yeah, Beer Fest.
Beer Fest, yeah, exactly. I love it.
You know what I'm talking about? Where you have to turn it.
I actually stopped drinking beer because of Richard Hart, because of his video, like Stop Poker or Stop Video Gaming and stuff like this. I totally stopped drinking, totally stopped doing all the drugs, put it all into Hex, and it turned out so well for me.
Yeah. Wow.
It turned out so well you went back to it.
Went back to drinking. I went to celebrate.
Yesterday, because of Uniswap, I celebrated. I bought some beer, but I wasn't used to it anymore because I drink like 1 or 2 beers, then I fell asleep, and then I just drink it like today.
Dude, that's the best. When you stop drinking, you can just have like 1 or 2 beers, and then you can kind of like get tipsy, and you're like, oh, this isn't too bad. Because now that's how I am. I'll drink like 1 or 2 beers, and I'll be like, whoa, okay, yeah, I'm pretty messed up. But back in the day, dude, I could drink like. When I was in the Marines, Randy probably knows what I'm talking about. When you're in the military, like you have like I could drink an eighth of vodka. I would go in Japan. I would go and get one every night and drink that. And it was just like you had like wars of see who could drink as much as you could. It's crazy, dude.
I was so religious,
but now it's like.
I was still evangelical religious back then. So I was the good corpsman, but I was the guy who gave the guys IV.
IVs?
They come and just totally blitz.
Yeah.
I gotta work, Doc. I gotta work. Okay, sit down. I'll give you an IV. Off to work.
Were you attached to the Marines?
I was a squadron guy. I was
okay.
Aviation the whole time.
Okay.
Alex,
that's hilarious.
I'm not a beer person, but when I was in Germany, I did drink smoked beer, and it was amazing.
Beer. What is smoke beer?
I don't know what smoke beer is.
I have no idea, but it was good. It was amazing.
Oh no! Oh no! Did they make you close your eyes when you had to do it?
Were you wearing robes?
They're like, close your eyes. We're gonna put it in your mouth. All you gotta do is hop a couple times. Like, wait.
So what was it? Tell me what was it?
Yeah. What? Do you smoke alcohol?
No. It's called like Rauch beer.
It's probably wheat beer. You know, it's just out of this one special thing. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. That's what I'm drinking right now. It's like out of this tall glasses, you know.
Could be.
His
I
life
don't know how it's
improved
made,
so
but
much.
it was amazing.
Huh.
Like it had like this aftertaste, and it was really good.
That's got to be a wheat beer because wheat beer has amazing aftertaste.
Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
it was called like I can translate it to like smoked beer,
Okay.
Rauch beer.
Yeah, I've never had it. Never had. I just like Bud Light. I don't know. Everybody tries to always hit me with these beers. They're like, taste this one. It's just so good. It's very hoppy, and I'm like, dude, this tastes like crap compared to Bud Light. It's just like I don't like the taste of beer. I like watered down beer. I guess everybody from Germany probably thinks is like this disgusting. If you guys saw this freaking beer, you're disgusting. I'm like, I don't know what it is. I just drink. You know, if you guys gave me a thing of beer, I'd just put some water in it or something.
Well, it's been
me.
almost 10 years since I last had a drink, but man, I used to love the 30 racks of Keystone Light because they were cheap.
Keystone Light, yeah. Keystone
Green
Light,
beer.
bro.
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Oh, dude, I lived off of Pabst when I worked at a liquor store. Man, I lived off of Pabst. Like, I'm pretty sure that's where all the calories I consumed in a day came from was Pabst Blue Ribbon.
What was that one?
Because as Americans,
Schlitz.
if you went back 10 years,
Yeah.
if you guys went
Schlitz
back,
and Pabst were made by the same company. People didn't even know that, or it used to be. I don't know if it still is, but
Hams.
Yep.
Hams.
Oh god, Hams was gross.
There was also beer for a little while.
Beer.
What?
Just beer.
They sold it.
Yeah.
It was the
They
blue
went
label.
real generic with it. Beer.
I mean, kids today got it made because when we were young, it was all you got was the cheap pilsners, right?
Yeah.
But, I mean,
Oh yeah, that's
that's all you got.
Yep. We had a local. We were in a college town full of breweries. Colorado has a lot of pretty good microbreweries, and the problem with them is if they didn't age them just right, you had the runs all next day. So it was like playing Russian roulette. Is this beer safe? When did you guys last make this last batch of beer?
Don't we want to be the testers? So what are we gonna do after the AA ends, guys? What's the plan? What's the
Get
plan
rich.
Get rich. I don't know, but we're gonna have to do something, man. We're gonna have to. Obviously, I think the news isn't going to be as exciting. You won't have the adoption amplifier to. No, you'll make it exciting, but I'm just saying the news itself won't be as exciting because you won't have the AA to measure and how that measures up against what it's trading for on Uniswap. But I mean, you could still check out the emergency end stakes and things of that nature. And you do a great job interacting with the chat, so you'll make it fun, but it just won't be it won't have the same metrics to look at any longer. So.
True.
I think there will be I think there's some good ways that you could pivot that, Hexologist. And if Captain would ever show up to his ship to pilot this sucker, maybe we could work together a couple days a week.
Yeah, that's true. I was thinking about just being his little mermaid on the front of the ship, with my arms backwards. I'm just here for the looks. Just sit there.
As long as you got some seashells, we're good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I have to get my mermaid tail on.
What the fuck?
We can't be friends anymore.
I think there's just disappearing one thing from Hexel's show, and this is the adoption amplifier. But other than that, everything is the same,
Yeah, pretty much the whole thing.
Even more exciting because after the adoption amplifier, if somebody is end staking, the penalty will be way bigger than it is now.
For the first 6 months after the adoption amplifier ends, it might be really exciting on your show, Hexo, to see the emergency end stakes, because I have a feeling as the price starts to run up, and I have a feeling that the OA is probably not going to be selling any of their coins, so you're going to see a lot of emergency end stake penalties being paid to everyone.
True.
So if the OA doesn't dump, then I believe the price will continue rising.
So
especially since we won't have the inflation.
So I'm thinking OA doesn't dump, it sits there, and is that gonna like scare a lot of people though? Is there gonna be a lot of people scared of that thing just sitting there all the time? You know what I mean? Is that gonna what kind of effect is that gonna have?
Yeah, it probably will be. You know that people are gonna hate on it for no matter what.
Forever.
But you can't even see it. You can't even see how much the OA actually has. So it doesn't. It's spread out through probably thousands of wallets, is what I'm guessing. That nobody knows how much the actual OA has.
Yeah.
I don't think you could say, oh, it has 90%, but you can't prove any of it.
Yeah, that's
some type of announcement after big payday.
But every minted coin has to go through OA, right? Sorry, Captain.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
No, go ahead. What were you saying, Peter?
That every minted coin has to go first into OA and then it can go anywhere, right? Or
I mean that's what I think that their Blaster Master says OA has to slow sell it, or what's the point of it in having the money? I don't think that they'll ever sell. They might sell, but honestly, they have a huge bag of Ethereum. Why would they sell any of their Hex? They have it and Uni.
A function all in and of itself of Hex.
Yeah. I mean, if somebody tries to fork off of Hex and tries to make a Hex clone, well, they can dump down on them and just be like, "Oh, you're not doing that. We're gonna just dump down until you're oblivion." And or anything like the Uni tokens that they were just airdropped. Now he has an entire, tons of these things, not to even dump on them, but also to do the governance and stake. So
I hope the OA is our marketing war chest, and
that too.
And that's for your show after big payday. I think that it could be every couple of weeks. Oh, look at this shit that's coming out for marketing. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's gonna be.
I think the OA will not have its hands tied after the OA or after the adoption amplifier ends, because I think right now it's in a gray area where if you are saying, oh, we're going to promote this or we're going to do this, well, then people, especially that's why I think hexshirt.com isn't opened up yet. And Richard won't release it until after the big payday, because he doesn't want the, any kind of oh, well, you're taking this money that you're selling for shirts and you're putting it onto the adoption amplifier or anything like that. That he doesn't want any kind of legal disputes to come up or to show up at any, he's protected himself pretty well, I think. And he's probably got a legal team that's backed him and told him what is probably the best way to approach it.
If Richard is as smart as I think he is, and there's a lot of wealthy people that I know that are pretty smart, it's probably in a blind trust. So we don't know who controls the trust of the OA, but I have a feeling it's controlled by not just him, but a whole entity, and it's completely legally protected and for these reasons. So I don't think a lot of people understand either too, though, that there's controls that the OA can execute by nuking its own stakes if they wanted to do so. If it staked to dilute a whale that's trying to do something bad, it can stake its whole amount at one time. I mean, I don't know how, between thousands of wallets, you're probably gonna have to run thousands of transactions, but then you can liquidate the stakes right away, and it'll actually pay 50% of its emergency end stakes if it nukes its own account. So it'll get 50% of its own coins back while diluting someone else at the same time. So there's other functions that the OA can operate.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it's a good thing. People hate it, but I mean, if you look at any other coin, you don't want to not have somebody that has a huge bag of it to be running the ship if you know that they're like at least a decent person, that they're not going to be dumping on you all the time. I mean, every single coin that you look at has a huge ownership. XRP has like 90%, like any of them. BCH, well, maybe not BCH, but Satoshi's coins is a huge part of it.
Yep.
I mean, you don't want anybody to, and people always get upset, but it's like somebody's always going to have a bigger bag than you, unless you're the creator of the coin. So it's like, dude, you're always going to be the person that's complaining about it, unless you make your own. And if you make your own and make up some great idea, then good for you. But then you're going to have to tell people, oh, it's okay because that I own more than 50% because of the, it's because they're not the ones that created it. So they're just angry about the entire thing. It always seems like.
Yeah, absolutely. So I like the fact that the OA owns a lot of coins, because if it never stakes them, then no more than 50% of if 50% is what the OA has, then no more than 50% of the coin supply will ever be staked, and we'll continue getting these fat gains. So I'm cool with the OA for that reason.
Yeah. And I'd rather see
exactly
that kind of power in Richard's hands than anybody else in crypto. Sorry.
Yeah. For real, dude. For real.
And
except for me.
And that's not a slurp on
except for Hexologist.
Hexologist RG3. I see how it is. No. I see how it is.
Yeah, I'd be cool with that too.
Hey, Kinetics, I think your camera exit scam, bro.
It did. It totally did. I had no camera.
There you go.
It did it the other night too, and then it just miraculously came back on. So.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Alex.
Go ahead.
Alex, you have a YouTube channel, right?
Who?
Alex.
Alan.
Or Alan.
Alan?
Yeah, you were calling him Alex. It's Alan.
Yeah, Alan, sorry.
Yeah, Alan is my name. I have a YouTube channel.
Can you link me in this in our chat so I can check it out?
Yeah, sure. You mean the YouTube channel or the Dlive? Because the Dlive is my English one, but YouTube is just German.
That's fine with me. Ich kann ein bisschen Deutsch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then for sure I will do that.
Alan, do you get a lot of German-speaking people over there on your YouTube channel, like that are interested in Hex?
It depends on what you mean with a lot. We have like 160 people in our German chat and Telegram chat, and I think it's awesome because we're so much involved in this chat. Kinetics, you just talked about Randy saying about, hey guys, you need to use the Uni token and claim and stuff. And what I did is I made a video how to claim Uni token. Everybody in chat was like, hey, thank you so much. I claimed my Uni token and stuff. It's just like evolved in something different, because I saw it because Randy told it to me on Discourse Syndicate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. Because we need somebody that's going to be talking, being able to speak different languages. I mean, it would be cool to get like a Spanish speaking. Well, we do have Johnny, and we have you, German, and get all the languages in there.
Well, I'm just like a little fish, I don't know anything. I'm like stupid compared to those other guys in the chat. They know everything. They know the code. They know everything. They even make predictions like tomorrow the price will be like this, and then it will be really like this. You know this guy, like Patrick. He has been on the stream with Richard.
Who is it?
Patrick, it's his name.
Oh yeah, Fürtner. Yeah.
He is so freaking smart, man.
Yeah, he's a very, very intelligent dude.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, someone else, XC Hex, I like what they pointed out too. They said, couldn't the OA sell large amounts directly to banks as package deals, not having the price go up or down? If legacy finance ever joins the crypto space, they could totally do that. That would be another function of the OA. Package deals, not having the price go down.
If legacy finance is coming soon.
RG3, what are you doing anyway? Where are you at? Are you working?
I'm in San Francisco.
Yikes.
Yep, I'm gonna probably drive down and hang out with Litecoin tomorrow. And then,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, then I'll be back in California for a bit, and then.
Well, you're in California. Or are you just saying? Are you saying that San Francisco finally seceded?
California.
Okay. You'd probably like it if San Francisco was just like, you know what, we're taking off. You're like, yes, finally, get rid of the San Franciscans.
Hate those water hoarders.
Wondered if they were going to cut off, but they never have. The state's too big. It's too big. Split it up.
It is. It is pretty big. It is pretty big.
But it'll never happen. But anyway.
No.
So yeah. So I'm in San Francisco, working for the next 2 days, and then back down south.
Did you say you're in San Francisco watching gay porn? Is that what your session is?
Did you know that they give you as much
Oh, geez.
free shit of this? All you gotta do is ask them, and they will send you free lotion. Anytime you want it.
And the
This-
toilet
I
paper
got
cores
this all
are
over
more
the world,
skinny.
man.
Yeah,
Skinnier
little tiny
toilet paper rolls.
I know they had the shampoo and the conditioner, and then the conditioner worked all right, but now
Oh,
they got
geez.
actual, lotion. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, can you send
Gotta
up
keep
a
it-
few more bottles of that lotion?
Got to keep it classy here on the
Yeah.
Discourse Syndicate.
We're done.
Now I know why there's two different shows. Why there's the Hexologist show and then there's the RG3 show. It's like complete opposite.
You're like, oh,
On
now I
Dlive.
remember why I left this.
Oh yeah, I forgot my image is being it's being ruined.
Hey, I'm not the one who got kicked off of YouTube, buddy.
Yeah, I've got a problem. I don't know what happened, but
For no
yeah, I must have
reason.
said something. I must have said something. Jeez.
Oh man.
I'm telling you, I still believe it's because you monetized and you were getting the super chats like crazy, and you were talking about a project. And
True. I think one of the reasons, I know the guy that actually reported us, and it was because like on Twitter, I was calling him out for supporting game credits. And he was calling Hex a scam, and I was like, dude, look what you were promoting. Because I went through all of his YouTube videos, and I started posting on Twitter like, look at this guy, he promoted game credits and it's down 99.7%, bro. Like, and you're calling Hex a scam, like and I picked out the exact day that he promoted it, and it was like that was its top. So he scammed pretty much people out of 99.7%, and I was like, remember that RG3? Dude, and then he came on Dlive after I got kicked out, and he was like, hey bro, I saw you got kicked off of YouTube, and like I was just like, dude, yeah, it was like, oh, okay, it was you. You wanted to report me.
That's the dope feed move. Like, I'm gonna steal your dope and help you look for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, where to go? Yeah.
Let's look, maybe it's over here on the couch, bro.
Yeah.
Sounds like your experience with this RP3.
It really does. RG3 is a master at it.
Hey, next time when you're passing through all the towns, man, you stop by and say hi to all the influencers. You can just keep driving through my town, bro. It's cool.
I had to get past that area of your state.
Today?
No, the last time I drove through.
Well,
When are you
why
coming to
didn't you
Idaho,
even
bro?
let me know? Yeah, why didn't you even let me know you're in the area?
Well,
He didn't
no,
call.
that's when
You didn't call.
my pops passed
You didn't
away.
call, didn't write.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, you were a little farther north though, man. You were 6-7 hours north of me.
Yeah, but I drove home, so I kind of like waved on my way by.
Oh, okay, fair enough. You came through the Four Corners.
No, I didn't go south route. I actually went through the pass.
Oh, gotcha. You went through Eisenhower Tunnel off I-70.
Yeah.
Dude, that is a crazy. I mean, they straight up drilled a 2-mile long tunnel through a freaking mountain. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I've driven to California or Colorado right through there. It is crazy, that huge tunnel right in the middle of nowhere too. It's just like, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
It gets nasty in the wintertime. Like
Really?
backed up for miles and miles and miles.
They were going to do a 12-mile one here in California, right behind my house, actually, that would connect Orange County to the Inland Empire, which would like put me 15 miles away from the beach. It would have been awesome, but they canceled it. So it's 12
Yeah, you
miles.
guys have these little problems called earthquakes.
Well,
and you know, money.
And money, yeah.
And no
Yeah.
money. You know,
Maybe when they
Yeah.
tax your hex gains, they can afford it there, Captain.
I heard the most asinine thing yesterday. My friend lives in Mendocino. He's got a huge ranch up in Mendocino. He told me he killed 2 bears. He got the license to kill 2 bears because they were attacking his his farm.
Yeah.
And he wanted to keep the meat and donate it. They came, the park service came, took a paw and took something else from the bears, but they made him throw the bears away in the forest and waste. They wouldn't even let him keep the meat.
If you guys have ever had bear sausage, it is some of the best sausage ever made.
You had bear sausage.
Bear sausage. Yep.
I have bear meat, but not bear sausage.
Oh, dude, bear sausage. Oh man. All Liberty will appreciate this. It's better than chorizo.
You like some chorizo?
It's like
too,
super.
huh?
It's like super fatty, dude. Like,
Oh,
not-
it is
not
the
the
greasiest,
sausage, but
fattiest
the
meat you
meat
ever
is-
had. Oh,
Yeah.
it is so good.
No
you've
wonder-
never seen marbling in a steak like you do with bear meat. So it's good
Really?
stuff. Oh yeah, good brain food.
Well, it also depends on the time of the year that it was taken, right?
True.
Yeah, that's true.
Marbling.
I think Kinetics just called me Mexican.
I did. I was on the fence. I was like Mexican, Filipino. I'm not sure which way to go with this.
That's racist.
No, man. I hate everybody equally. It's cool.
That's hilarious.
Freaking Liberty. Say something in Spanish, Liberty.
Como estás tú, yo?
He's definitely Spanish. You hear that accent? It's real spicy. Mixing it real spicy.
Oh,
I don't
that
cuss
must
in
be
Spanish
Mexican because you didn't slur your words enough to be Spanish. So
Yeah. Oh, here in Spanish, people talk to us like fingernails on a chalkboard.
yeah.
Gosh dang it.
I can't wait, man. I got a little over 3 weeks left, and I'll be in Mexico enjoying.
Dude,
that.
you're lucky. Are you still in your prison or
Yeah, no.
prison ma?
It's now we can stay out till 11 p.m.
Oh,
So-
do you don't have to like
But on Sundays,
6 hours a week or
on Sundays we can't leave the house at all. So
That is ridiculous.
yeah,
it
but
doesn't
they,
even make sense.
they got rid of the men and women days. At least they got rid of that.
Yeah.
Uh,
You know,
Well, yeah, that's
Well, how
pretty
you-
gross nonetheless.
hmm.
screw this, man. I'm out.
Yeah, that sounds like some craziness.
I'll never trust this government again, ever.
Yeah, I wouldn't. That's crazy. And they're not letting you go out on Sunday. It's like, what if you want to go to church? Maybe that's why they're keeping you in on Sunday because they don't want you to go to church.
Well, what if you want to go to church? That's
Yeah.
the reason. What
Can't
if-
make it to math.
Church.
Okay, RG3. some of us have to like to go to church.
Yeah, right.
I go to church.
RG3, yeah.
Me too.
I
Me
think they
too.
have to recharge the birds.
I have to go wash the dirty sins off my body every Sunday after being on this show Friday
Yeah,
nights.
exactly. Being around RG3.
Dude, I have an
Never
exorcist
wipe
on
your
call
statue
now.
down to you, boy.
Randy said he didn't trust this government. You shouldn't say I don't trust government.
I don't trust
Yeah.
governments at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would. Yeah. But yeah, the Panama one is probably the least one, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That and Australia, you'd think that Australia would be pretty. I thought that they'd fight back a little bit. That sounds crazy.
Well, at least they're not beating the shit out of people here. Unlike,
Or are they doing that over there?
No, they're not beating the shit out of people here. At least not yet. But in
Not yet.
Victoria, they are. You know, with Australia.
Oh, geez.
hmm
That sucks. That sucks.
Yeah,
Whole world went and got itself all crazy.
I know. Well, we went up. We got big COVID numbers here in my county. We're up to a whole 7 now. We're up to 7.
Yeah.
You guys keeping it down.
Have you guys You guys
I
remember
won't.
when COVID hit the world and Hex just made like one all-time high after all-time high? Like the whole world was in this pandemic and Hex priced like 100x.
I know.
And we were all going, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I never had a bad day. I was like, hey, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything different anyways. I'm sitting in that side looking at the charts.
Isn't that awesome?
It's the same thing.
I get to stay home and stare at the freaking Hex chart all day.
And
Yeah.
and watch our chart go parabolic. Not a
Yeah.
bad gig. Not a bad gig.
That
Not
was
a bad
fun.
day.
I mean,
I loved
I
Richard's
just sat there
videos. Richard's
Oh,
videos
geez.
about I don't leave the cave and I can't touch your mask and then you're gonna get
The
COVID
face
and-
shield. You guys
Had his face shield, yeah. His racquetball face shield.
did you guys see the Mighty Ducks thumbnail I did with him with the face shield?
No, I
I had him
didn't
as
see
like the Mighty Ducks goalie with the face shield on.
that. I love it, man. That's awesome.
I need to repost it. It was awesome. I was like, I don't even have to edit a face mask on him because he's already got one. He's already got it. Easily done right there.
That's
Did you guys
awesome.
know that that was the movie that Brock Pierce was in?
Yep.
Wait, which one?
The
Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Ducks.
Oh, snap! Really?
Yeah,
Yep.
he was the child actor in that. movie.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, you go watch that and you'll see him like, oh, he has a cute little. Hey, he looks exactly the fucking same.
Yeah, he does. I think he's the same height too. I think he stopped growing.
8-year-old, 9-year-old.
Well, he's gonna be our next president, guys. So let's show some respect.
No, he gracefully bowed out for Joe Jorgensen.
Oh, did he? Did he?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, he gracefully
okay.
bowed out.
I didn't know that. I thought that he was still going. I was
No,
like,
That was
how much
so
you spending
nice.
here? Like, why?
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't know. I guess
I thought it was
yeah,
just another play for crypto, like McAfee saying he was
Yeah,
running
yeah.
for president.
That's what I thought too. But then he had like the "I'm Brock Pierce," the commercials, the infomercials. Hi, I'm Brock Pierce, and I want to make this world a
He's
lot
got his
better.
wife sitting next to him. Oh, God.
You know, I was standing next to him one time. I'm like right next to him. Dude, he like reaches like just
He's
above
like
my belly
3
button.
foot 2.
Got his little tiny
Hey,
hand.
Nine.
That's a different show.
Is that your OnlyFans account, Randy?
That's a different show.
Brock Pierce impersonators.
Oh
Guys.
man.
Brock pierced.
Remember when he
Pierce.
would show
That's gonna be the title of it.
kind of like retro Crocodile Dundee oversized freaking. It was like a cross between an Australian boonie hat and a freaking
Yeah.
Oh. With
I know which one you're talking
with
about.
the feather
Yeah.
coming
with
out.
the
That one?
feather and shit.
Yeah, very strange. Whatever.
Strange.
Peter, what were you about to say?
You cleaned up.
When you mentioned Richard, did you see his today's tweet? He slammed box mining pretty hard.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
did he?
I did
I
like
think that was a couple days ago. I retweeted it, so it probably popped up. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
I used
yeah,
to
he
have
wrecked
some-
him. He wrecked him. He was like, "Stop promoting garbage, bro. Stop
Exactly.
promoting garbage."
Dude, I used to look at box mining as legitimate info on what was going on in crypto, and now it's just chill for margin links and these fake finance projects.
Yeah, he has to live from something. Yeah.
over those, man.
Uh-huh.
And I used to
Yeah,
have
okay.
some respect for that guy, but he's just like,
Alright. He's still got his YouTube channel, guys. He's a legit. He's a legit. All right.
yeah,
He's got a YouTube channel. That means he's for real.
When the whole thing went down in
bitter,
Hong Kong,
party of one, bitter, your table's ready.
when the whole thing was going down in Hong Kong, when the problems were having in Hong Kong, I was part of the old crypto coin trader group, and I left that now. But I started up a whole thing asking everybody, hey, let's reach out, see if we can get in touch with him because we haven't heard from him in weeks because he lives in Hong Kong, right? And I considered him a friend, and dude, now the way he's just shit talking Hex all the time and promoting this garbage is really embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't call Hex a scam and turn around and say sushi and urine finance. Not even maybe not
urine?
Urine might be a little different. Urine You're in finance.
Who made up that name?
Well, that's my new
You're in
liquidity pool I'm
finance.
creating, guys. Is
Oh
you're
my
in
God.
finance.
It is so not going to age well. I mean, they're all of these projects, and when Hex does what it's going to do after Big Payday, and all these other projects just go to the way, all that shit's not going to age well. I mean, they're going to be sitting in some pretty shitty spots.
Yeah.
How are
They
gonna
don't care,
explain
dude.
themselves?
They get their money off of referral links, man. They're sitting pretty on whatever. They get their money because they get paid before, and hey, I'll give you 500,000 of urine token if you shill it. So they're like, sweet. Then they just shill it, and then 5 minutes before they release the video, they start dumping it. And then it's pretty easy, man. If you're a big YouTuber like that, you can just make money doing stupid shit like that all the time. Stuff like that, excuse me.
Well, we used to pay them in ETH. That was the rule usually when I was hiring the shillers because it was my job. I'm the one who paid box mining and Jeff Berwick and Heidi Tacos and all these people.
We know who to come for then, Randy.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't tell people that.
And
Don't
the
trigger Hexo.
fucker hasn't given us a dime, Hexo.
Yeah, what the heck, Randy?
Yeah, and we paid them all in ETH. We normally didn't get tokens. So.
Where's my fucking ETH, huh? Where's my
Where's the ETH, Randy? Where's the ETH?
The ETH go.
Where's the ETH? Hey, Randy, by the way, do you guys know who Marfugal News is? He's on Dlive. You guys probably seen him.
That's
He's
awesome.
wanting me to write an article. I've never written an article on Hex, and then he's going to promote it. He says he's got about 150,000 people that watch him daily, or maybe across all platforms. He's probably got an average around. I think on YouTube he's got 160. Here he's got like 20,000. He's got a lot, not like a newsletter and stuff. And he wants me to write an article, but I have no idea what to even write. So I'm just going to come to Randy. I'll be like, hey, Randy, maybe you could co-sign this bad boy for me or something.
Yeah.
I'll write it up and be like, Randy, does this look good? I don't know. Well, okay, yeah. I'll just write something up and then
Write about
see.
being kicked off YouTube.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Well,
give
I
me
feel
give me some talking points and I'll write it out because I have all the tools like the grammar stuff and all that to make sure. it's good.
Okay.
Can you pump my new urine token too while you're at it?
You're in DeFi.
But I feel like once you tell, like even my family, dude, once they heard that I got kicked off of YouTube, they thought that I was legit scamming at that point. They're like,
Oh no!
because they already saw on the YouTube channels like saying that it was a scam and stuff, and like they go Google it, and then like I got kicked off of YouTube, and my family was like, no, nobody really comes to me and asks me, but then like my brother's like, so everybody's talking around the family, and like, you got kicked off of YouTube. What's going on there? I'm like, oh my gosh. Why don't they just come and ask me? Because they're like my family's
You should have played it up, dude. You should have played it up and been like, You should have played it up and said, man, yeah, I got a meeting with the SEC. I got to do a deposition.
Probably. Yeah, I kind of stuck there for a while. At this point, I don't care. But man, it was like, gosh dang it! Like everybody's calling me a scammer now. It's like I got my small group of Hexa kids that are like, oh, thank you guys, thank you for supporting me, because nobody else out here is like,
see, listen. If you were in an Italian Polish family like me, you would have gotten 50 phone calls the first day. Like, are you a fucking scammer?
what are you doing out there? Oh, my family just like covertly talks amongst each other, like, oh, was he actually scamming?
Damn.
Yeah. So.
Dude, you guys are so mayonnaise. Yes,
mayonnaise. Oh yeah, dude, we're like a Mormon. We're a Mormon. The like full Mormon family. How was everybody's weekend?
Here's another time.
Wow, thank you, Ma. That's my family. That's my family, man.
Oh, it's funny because it's usually the people closest to you that are like, nah, dude, we love you and we want the best for you, but there's no way you're gonna change the world. Like they won't ever say that to you, they're your number one haters, man. They're your number one haters, unfortunately. So
Usually.
even though they
they're
love you
always-
and support you, yeah, don't get me wrong, they love and support you, but they're the first ones to doubt you because they've seen you mess up throughout your whole life, and they won't forget about the mess up.
True. They're like, oh, here's the next one. Yeah, they know me exactly. They're like, oh, remember when you tried to join the Marines back when we told you not to do that? Like, oh no, no, guys, I swear this one's gonna turn out big.
Yeah.
This is gonna be the one, Ma.
Oh, I love it.
No. So yeah,
I just stopped telling people what I'm doing. That's all.
yeah.
My family.
Well, I
They don't-
didn't tell
they don't-
anybody. I didn't tell anybody. So, somehow they found out that I was doing it. And I was like, yeah, I my sister or something. One of them found out, and then they talk amongst each other. It's great. It's great. They're just yeah.
Family's your toughest audience. I think it's just how it is.
For sure. Usually.
Yeah, if you have any left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Franklin says my family tells me to sell my crypto once a day.
Yeah.
That's usually how it is.
Don't
Yeah,
listen
don't
to them.
listen to it.
Don't do
Well,
that.
my family saw me fail hard in 2017, so everyone's super skeptical, and I'm like, no, really, people actually make money doing this. I promise. Like, I promise.
Yeah.
And I kept telling them, I'm like, come on, guys, can't you give some redemption to the guy that failed? Do you not believe in the fact that maybe the guy could learn something from his experience?
Right, yeah.
Let's come out of it a little wiser on the other end.
And then that's when your mom goes, "When Lambo."
My mom's a baller. My
Me
mom's
just
got more
yesterday
Bitcoin.
alone.
My mom's got more Bitcoin and other cryptos than I do.
Really? Dang.
She brags to me
totally.
all the time. She brags to me. She goes, "I picked up some more Bitcoin, man." She's 66 years old.
Dude, that's awesome. That is awesome. That's a nice inheritance.
Is she
You better be like, hey, you better be passing those passphrases.
Yeah.
These phrases better be in the will.
She's a Coinbaser. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Is she single?
Coinbase.
Bitcoin mama, baby.
yeah.
Hey, lady.
Hey, Randy, I think Liberty might become your new poppy.
No, I've got my old ass stepdad. He's like 10 years older than my mom. He has no clue about crypto. My mom, she used to be on the call with me. She goes, "I'm up like 15 grand today." And my stepdad would be like, "What? What are you talking about over there, woman?" You know?
That goddamn girl crypto.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So while we're talking about box mining, the Richard Hart said, so box mining on September 4th said shopping today for coins today. What should I look at? And Richard on September 5th said, look at the mirror to see what actively doing harm looks like. You promote garbage and you promote trading, garbage squared. Upgrade your life. And then box mining just replied right now, LOL, and make a worthless scam coin. Noted.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Oh, was it? Oh, yeah.
About
it was
3 days
you guys
ago.
right? Yeah. Hilarious.
That was
I
so
thought
awesome,
I
though,
thought he just did it. I thought he just did it.
Lost all credibility.
Let's not trigger Hexo.
Come on, box mining.
Let's get him on the show. You can have at him,
Say about my
Hexologist.
Richard Hart.
You called it a scam.
One
Say
day
you're
they'll
sorry.
want on- yes, one day they'll want on our show.
Oh, dude. Yeah, for real. They probably will.
One
And then
day.
we're gonna roast them just like Cultivate got roasted. Just come on, box mining. You want to get on the show? Come on. You're gonna sit here.
That wasn't really even a roasting. That was just an exposing. He was just a
Yeah.
joke. I mean,
Yeah.
He didn't get grilled for what he didn't get half the shit that they gave Hex, you know?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
What kind of fucking pirate ship is this, you fucking pussies?
Because those are
I tried.
because those are future Hexicans, bro, that don't even know that they've been ripped off yet. Just wait, big payday, they'll realize, oh crap, we did this all wrong.
Yeah,
We should have been
I was
listening to
there,
these
right?
guys from the get-go.
Yeah, but these guys, I mean, the box mining and Kerdakis, Jeff Kerdakis, I always talk about Jeff because I've known him for years. And they private messaged me about the coin that we shall not name on the show. Say, oh, you need to get the real one. This, what we're doing with Richard is a scam. Like, look, man, dude, I love the OA.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the OA is a scam, Randy. You shouldn't be involved in that. Like, what are you guys talking about? What are you guys talking about? And talk to Jeff. How much percentage of the one-up tokens from Uptrend Jeff owns? You can always see when he pumps the coin. The coin will go up like 150% over the course of 5 days. Then it'll stagnate and fall back down. And he'll buy it at the bottom again. Then he'll pump the coin up again. You know, it's so blatant. I'm not going to hate because that's how things are done in crypto. But don't talk shit about Richard Hart.
Yeah,
you guys are doing something even more blatant.
Well, that's just the thing is there's no history. Even the people that want to say, "Oh, he was a spam king," that's not different. That's marketing. That's how marketing was done in the early internet days with email. That doesn't make him a scam or a scammer. That's not scamming.
Wish I knew how to do it back then.
Yeah, dude, that's how those guys made so much money back in the day.
Yep.
That was freaking good marketing. Whether you like it or not, that was good marketing.
The early SEO guys, though,
because it worked. Yep.
Look at me, man. I dominated Panama for 3 years just because of Google Plus. Nobody knew how to use Google Plus, but I knew that if I posted something on there and used keywords, I would be at the top of the Google search engine. And everyone was calling me, "How are you doing it?" I'm like, "Oh, I really don't know, but if you want me to manage your accounts for you, I'll do it for your business." And I would charge them like $500.
Nice.
It would take me 2 minutes to do.
Yep.
So
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. So point out to me and show me a victim of any of Richard's scams. If he's ever scammed anyone, please bring those people to light so we can hear about it.
Yeah. Bring him on the show. We'd love to have him.
We'd expose Richard on our show. We'll let you on the show.
Yep.
But they can't do it because he's not a scammer. And all he's ever done is self-help stuff to try to help people. That's what gets me is like, dude, box mining, you have gotten people wrecked over the years. If it wasn't for you getting sponsored in ETH, you'd be wrecked too. If you were investing in your own plays that you promoted on your show.
For real.
His
That
whole
is
bag
gross,
of groceries that he's been freaking shilling for the last month has done nothing but go down, 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 down.
Bag of groceries?
Everything in that grocery bag of his.
Grocery bag. Must be a soggy paper bag, huh?
Yeah, for real at this point.
Grocery bag and the bottom ripped out of it.
Damn, that's too bad.
I will be leaving. It's too late. I'm tired. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, buddy. It's good seeing you, Peter. You
Too
take care, buddy.
More like too early, bro.
Is it 9 already?
Yeah, don't sleep till noon, bro.
Don't worry. I'm going airsofting. Where's my finger?
Where's my finger?
Oh,
look.
you gonna go shoot?
Airsoft?
Yep.
Damn, that's some nice firearms you got back there, bro.
What you got there?
Oh,
That's
I
cool.
see.
it's just a replica. It's airsoft.
Oh, okay, fun.
Oh,
Yeah. So
come
see
on,
you.
come,
Bye.
come see the captain.
See you later, buddy.
Cheers. Bye, Peter.
Later.
We can show them some real pirate arms.
That was a good kid. That guy's a good guy.
Yeah, he's the genius behind the fake Peter McCormick Twitter account.
Oh, that's he's the one that does the
okay.
Peter McCormick hex. That's
Oh,
awesome. I love it. That is
That's
awesome.
It's a great Twitter handle.
It's a great
He's gotta
Twitter
start
handle.
doing some real good apology stuff.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Richard Hart. I was wrong. I'm the real scammer.
My toilet paper roll does not compare.
Where's my finger?
Blaster Master.
Have you guys ever seen anybody scammed by Richard Hart, or even losing money by Richard Hart?
Nope.
To this point, I haven't seen anybody.
God damn it.
Yep.
Can't hit everybody.
No, unless
That's
they
exactly
bought
right.
at the wrong time, and then they're gonna call it a scam. It like, oh, I bought the top, and now it's a scam. It's like, oh,
I love
okay, so
Blaster
anything.
Master's comment. He put, Richard Hart scammed me. He gave me free money and then mad gains. What a scam. You are a
That's
scam.
I mean, my history is way worse than Richard's because out of the 30 projects that I've promoted, about 15 don't even exist anymore. So my history is way shittier than Richard's.
Scammer.
And
Randy the scammer.
and it was great having you on here. Bye.
Bring him back. There he is. He's over there.
I mean, so I mean,
right.
how could people call Richard a scammer? It's so fucked up.
I agree.
That's
I
pretty
agree.
cool.
But can you imagine when this stops, when the gatekeeping goes away? I think only the adoption amplifier has to go away because people cannot understand what the adoption amplifier is.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys want to see something
I'm gonna
cool?
jump out, jump back in.
All right, RG3. Can you not see it?
You can see it.
Oh, okay. Maybe you can't hear us. All right. So this is what's cool. I did this on my show today. So today, you get 4 point right here, which is like what day we're on. You get 4.1 hex. Oh, excuse me, 4.1 hex for your trillion shares right here. And so probably by the end, we're probably going to get around 6, is what I'm guessing. By the end of the adoption amplifier phase. So this is the first year. This is per 1 trillion. So this, if you go down, we're going to get 6. This one will be 6. I'm thinking that this will probably be around 12 to 15 to even maybe 18.
Yeah, it will be 18 and up.
Yeah, you think 18?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do 12 to 18 right here per
Well,
trillion.
if you're looking on a log scale, 1.1 to 1.5 to 3, yeah, it's at least 18 to 20. Yeah.
Something like that. Well, stimulation, who knows what it's going to be. So by the end of this, I think it's probably going to be by the end of the next 2 years, it's probably going to be around 24 at the end of this 2 years. So if you scroll all the way down, dude, it goes right here. It's 24 hex per trillion shares. And then it just, this could be 1,000 per trillion shares. It's
What's
pretty
the
crazy.
implication? What's the implication there, Hexo? Like,
So, well, I mean, you're gonna get 24 for if you're getting to like 4, you're getting 4 per day right now for every trillion shares. So it depends on, like, a trillion shares right now is only worth $20 or something, right? $25 maybe to get 4 hex a day. By the end of the adoption amplifier, it's probably going to be around 6, but we'll just say you get 4. If you get that plus, I don't know how many trillion shares you guys have, but like on my show, I have 28 trillion shares or something like that. Just like off of 100,000 hex that staked for 5,555 days. But dude, it's going to be like astronomical because at this point, I'm going to be paid 24 hex per my trillion shares. So it's 27 or 28 because I have 28
times
trillion
24.
shares just for that times 24 because I'm going to be getting that per trillion shares. So, I mean, if you guys have 1 million staked for a 5,555 days, it's going to be, I mean, you're just going to continue to get that more and more and more and more and more every day. It's just going to continue to ratchet up. And this is without any penalties or anything like that. So
you're going to end up with more than 200 hex per trillion shares.
I'm thinking more than that. I think that this
4,000 at day 4,000 at least. Yeah, I mean, I'm being very conservative here.
Yeah, I think you could probably closer to 1,000 or 2,000 hex per share, and this is only 10 years. This isn't even at 15 years. So the 15 years one is going to be clear up here. I just thought that was crazy today looking at it because if you look at the share rate, or if you just look at the little the dot chart that you see on if you go to hex.com or go.hex.com, you can see how many hex that you're getting paid every day for the trillion shares, and it's just like a straight up line, and that's what you're pretty much what you're seeing right here is the straight up line. But this straight up line isn't even it doesn't even look like a straight up line right here.
No.
It looks like a little tiny blip. It looks almost straight. Because after the adoption amplifier is when it really starts going parabolic here. So that's my John Madden for the day.
Hey, where's the X's and the O's, bro?
If you go right here, you're gonna definitely be making some hex. But if you go right around here, you're gonna do one of these numbers.
I love it. That's awesome.
So I was thinking, 24 hex per trillion shares. by in 2 years will be pretty crazy, because a trillion shares right now is $25, and if you've got $100 in this, you're probably making at least like $5 maybe a day just off of your hex.
I am so excited about this project now. Some new information I haven't seen, and I get excited every time I get new information.
As a dabbing dolphin, I right now I probably do about $15 a day. So
No, it's nice. It's nice. Yeah. And that's right now, dude. You're going to get paid more every single day. Like, you're going to get more and more and more, and it's just going to continue to ratchet up. It's never like it has a like the if nobody emergency end stakes and nobody late like penalties, there's a wall that it won't go past. And right now, you know, whatever that is for you, but it will never go past that. And that will just continue to ratchet up. And once, you know, if people emergency end stake, then it'll go clear up there. But then it'll come back down to that where it's, you know, where it's level. But yeah, you're going to be making at least something every day for the.
So think about this, guys. Think about this. You have 1,000 hex, or 5,000, I think is the minimum, or 4,000 something to get 1 trillion shares, 5555 into the future. I was looking at this the other day. So it's like 4,200 or 4,300 hex for a Quattro Cinco stake gets you 1 trillion shares. After year 10 and on, you're making $1,000 a day if it's at $1.
No, 1,000 hex.
If it's at $1,
I wasn't finished
yet. If it's at $1 10 years from now. You're making.
I mean, you're making 1,000 hex. If it's, you know, no matter what, you're making 1,000. Who cares about the dollar amount? I guess.
I do when my stake ends.
Well, I just hate giving it like US dollar wise, because then people are going to come back at you and be like, "You told me it was going to be $1 and it's only 35 cents, you piece of crap."
Yeah, I don't control. I wish I had that kind of control over the markets. It would be $1 a hex right now if I had that control.
The thing is, you guys, it doesn't need to be 1 USD, right? It could be 5 cents or 2 cents or 3 cents. You're still going to make an absolute killing.
Yeah, you're making 1,000 hex a day at that point with that share rate that you have. You're making 1,000 hex just off of with only 1 trillion shares. If it's 1 trillion shares is equal or 1 trillion shares equals 1,000 hex at that point, or whatever it is.
So 1 million Quattro Cinco hex.
You're paid 1,000 hex. Excuse me.
Yeah. So a 1 million hex Quattro Cinco stake would be 238 trillion shares, and 238 trillion shares times 1,000 a day.
Yeah,
that's a shitload.
Yeah, yeah.
And also go twice or 3x as well, right?
Yeah, and who knows what the price will be at that point. Even if it stayed at what it's at right now, you're getting paid 1,000 hex a day per trillion shares. So if you have 1,000 trillion shares, you're getting paid 1,000 times 1,000.
Dude, rough estimate for you guys out there with million thrown out there, 555.
Yeah, it's big. It's
stake.
big now.
It's almost 87 million at the numbers we just put, and that it ratchets up and goes even higher after year 10. But at year 10. That's 87 million hex a year you're making.
So listen, all you young guys and girls out there, if you're in your 20s, go find $100, $200. No financial advice, but I think it's a good idea to go find $200 and try it.
Yeah, just try it out.
Anybody can find $200.
The most important thing is to do it today before big payday, because after big payday you need to pay twice as much.
Yeah, at least twice as much as what. Yeah, it's probably going to be two. Yeah, probably twice. I think it's probably going to 2x. Probably right now.
It's twice. That's correct.
These numbers make no sense. Well, just think like right now you're getting paid 4.1 hex per trillion shares. In about 10 years. It's going to be about 1,000 hex per trillion shares that you're getting paid daily. Yeah. Right now, you're getting paid 4 per trillion hex that you're getting. And then about that graph we showed is about 1,000 hex per trillion shares. So if it doesn't matter, I mean, it does matter how much the price is, but you're getting paid 1,000 hex a day on 1 trillion share or 1 trillion shares. And so if you have 1,000 trillion shares, then you're getting paid 1,000 times 1,000. So whatever that, 1 million, it's 1 million, right? Okay. So you're getting paid a million hex a day. A day. And that's with no emergency end stakes. And that's the least you'll get paid. Like it's never going to come back.
Also without big payday, man.
Yeah.
My real pirate ship is going to be so epic.
That's golden yacht. It's going to be a golden pirate ship.
Right? I don't think for those of you that may be too much moon math for you guys got to think too. After big payday, the essential supply, or essentially the total supply is about 600 billion, though technically a bunch are burned in stakes at that point in time, and it's going to inflate at 3.69% a year. 600 billion times 3.69% a year is still a pretty large number, even though you won't see that inflation hit the market for years and years and years down the road, guys. So it may seem like moon math mind can't comprehend, but so does Bitcoin gaining 2 million% increase on itself. So it's and yet it still did it. So don't let your own limited mindset or conception of the world limit you from realizing that this is a possibility.
Yeah, and I'm not good at math, guys. Like what I just showed you was just like some rough estimates of what it could do. Like by the end of the big pay, it's at 4.1 right now. It was at 0.9 when we first started. You got paid 0.9 hex per trillion shares at the first. Now you're getting paid 4.1 per trillion hex. And then probably by the end, it's going to be about 6 is what we showed. And then probably by the end of year 2, you get paid about 24 hex. Is that what we came up? 24 hex per trillion shares.
After big
and
payday,
then 10 years, it just if you look at the graph, it just continues to go up. And so I mean, it's a rough simulation of what it looked like. I mean, it could be 500, but it looked like it was probably going to be around 1,000, 500, maybe 5 to 1,000. I know that's 50 off, but
and you guys got. Yep, and you guys got to think too that the people who are staking after big payday, they're not getting near as many shares as you are, not even close. No. So their gains are going to be good, but they're not going to be anywhere near what us early adopters are getting.
Which I think that people should still be encouraged to actually be getting in after the big payday, because I think that what we're like, because I tend to do that too. I'm like, you guys got to get in right now, and after the big payday, it's going to suck. But like, we got to start moving away from that, because the big payday is going to be over here in 2 months, and then we have to be like, well, now get in, and everybody's gonna be like, but you told me to get in before, you scamming pieces, so I think that we should start moving away from like, not that you shouldn't get in now. I think everybody should get in now before the big payday, but after the big payday, like I just showed on that graph, it's still a good time to get in. Like it's still a great time to get in before that huge run up, and that run up is just going to continue forever and ever and ever. So you're any time is, if you're going to plan a 10-year stake, that line is going to continue to go up. So you're not going to get as much shares, but
Hex's got it sugar coated. I'm going to just say, embrace the suck, all you embrace the suck.
There's people out there that only understand dollar terms. So I'll keep it real simple. Even if Hex is 1 penny, let's keep it at 1 penny. So then it goes up to, you make 1,000 at 10 years. You're making 1,000. You said 1,000, right? So that's $10 per trillion shares that you own. So if you have, say, you own 1 pentillion, so that's 1,000 trillion. So you'll be making 10 times 1,000 per day.
Yeah, so you're making like 10 grand a day. Just on a penny, guys. Just on a penny.
1 penny. 1 penny at a pentillion.
Where's my
We don't need Hex to go to $1, guys.
No, you don't have. No,
you don't.
No way.
You don't
Us early adopters in the first 2-3 years that really get in early, you 1 cent is going to be beautiful.
I'm cool. I'm cool with it. The same price we have right now.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
I want 1 cent just for adoption purpose. He's fapping it back there. I should take him.
He shut his mic off now. Oh, stop! They can hear me. That was a quick one. That was a quick one, old man.
Saving it up.
How do you have three
When you
kids?
talk, Hexo, when you talk about share price like that, man, it just really gets me.
Hey, you Marines, you guys using that sock?
Oh yeah.
It's,
You gotta turn it. You gotta turn it inside out.
it's all crusty and oh man.
That's hilarious.
Jar heads in their socks.
Nothing like having
Yep.
a bunkmate too. Oh,
I used to be a respectable individual, and then I started coming on this show.
Exactly. People are gonna start to wonder, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Make good choices.
Make good choices. My mom always warned me about friends like you guys.
Yeah, exactly. No, but the share rate, guys, the share rate is where it's at. Once they put that price, the pink with the pink dots on it on hex.com or at go.hex.com, dude, that like if you just follow that thing, you can see where the price is going to be headed. Like the share price. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy to look at.
Yeah.
As you can see, it's already like this.
Today you
And that's
make
not even a big payday.
as much as when Hex just started.
Yeah, that's true, Alan.
Already.
Yeah, it's already 4x. You're already 4x
Yeah,
if you
good
got it
point.
in the first day. Yeah.
I
That's great.
actually
I never thought about that, Alan. Good
I
point,
unstaked
man.
my first day Hex. I had to unstake it, stake it out. I put it out really long because
I unstaked mine too. I unstaked, not emergency unstake. I actually had a stake coming out early because I was like, when I first started, I was just, 5 cents. It's like, all right, just throw a bunch of them out there. I'm going to just see where they, at this point I think it was at the 1st of September or maybe August. I just threw a bunch out there. Maybe it'll be $1 by then. I didn't know what was going to happen.
Huh.
So I
But the
already,
nostalgia. I didn't want to do it, dude. I was like,
Yeah.
Oh, this is the first one. I don't want to unstake this.
dude, can you imagine in 15 years, you're going to be going back and being like, okay, little buddy, we've been through so much. Remember that one day that we funded and Richard Hart was gone for 3 weeks and nobody knew if he was alive. Then he
feel
came
like that
out
right
with the
now.
toilet paper roll on his YouTube channel. And it was all
Oh, no, we gotta kill that.
yeah. I mean, dude, for real, like in 10 years, man, it's going to be, that's only 10 years. Think about those 15-year stakes. That Steph making that 15-year stake of 10 million hex the other day. That was crazy. Yeah, dude, he's gonna be the Steph Bezos.
Steph Bezos. I love it.
Yeah, Steph Bezos. That's what we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to make a new meme of that one. Put Steph's face on the Steph Bezos. Or Alan. Alan's our meme master now. There you go, bro. Yeah, get
That's
him.
right. Steph Bezos.
Bezos.
You need to chop off Bezos' head and put it on Steph's picture.
Pictures of Steph are not easy to find, man.
Oh, we'll have to get him back on here.
True. Now we're gonna have
He looks all. Is it his Twitter profile? He looks all business
professional.
dude, like very professional. Yeah, like it's his LinkedIn profile. Let's go find his LinkedIn profile.
Well, I made him a hex one, and then he changed it to his very very elegant one. He must have got some offers or something. He must be he must have staked that 10 million for 5,555 days. He knows what's gonna happen. Yeah, let's be professional now.
Steph, can you guys imagine what the staker app will do to the Hex ecosystem? The Hex staker app will be an app where everybody can make the best returns of investment because it's leveraging out all the other stakes that is coming out, and it's telling you when are the best dates to stake, right?
Yeah.
So this will actually even out, I think, the liquid hex that is coming out the system, I think.
Oh, it's going to be good. It's good for Hex as it is for the individual. That's for sure.
It's stabilizing the system, I think.
Yeah, I think
real quick, I just need
it's gonna be awesome. What's
yeah,
up?
hold on.
Sorry,
Sorry to interrupt you guys real quick. Left relay. If you'll go into the Hex Telegram, there's a lot of people that would love to help you out. I know that we just talked, Matt, that maybe some other people hadn't been considering in Telegram, but it's I'm not going to figure that out on screen right now. She wants to know about $1,000 worth of hex bought at today's price, state Quattro Cinco, what the daily payout would be at one.
Nobody knows because
that's the thing. There's
nobody knows.
It's
on. The only thing that we could show you is that simulation, and that simulation, who knows what it'll actually do. But you can see on go.hex.com the pink graph of what you're getting paid daily. And if it continues that's what we were going off of. We were just making simulations. We don't know what the price will actually be, but we are predicting what maybe how many hex you could get paid out daily.
Yeah. So we're being conservative at 10 years and 10 years beyond at what it looks like maybe the amount of hex per trillion shares 10 years beyond. We were just figuring that at 1,000 to be conservative. So
50,000 hex per day.
50,000 hex per day.
20 is the current, right? So
trillion?
no,
because it was $1,000
divided by the current is 20 for 1 trillion, right? So that leaves you 50. So they would get 50 trillion, and it'd be 50 times 1,000, like Hexo said. So 50,000 hex per day.
Yeah.
50,000 hex per day
in 10 years. In 10 years.
Yeah.
Not like
10
you're
years
going
beyond.
up to it, and then you're starting to compound.
Yeah, exactly.
But it does get a little bit confusing. I think that it'll start getting confusing. Well, you'd have to start seeing it, because even right now, going 4x like what we've done, it's like you could see that on it, but you don't know where. Like, even if you look at the simulation from day one to where we're at right now, you don't know how many you're going to get at that first start point and how much you're going to get at the end point. It's going to be a mix of where it's at in between there, because it's when people ROI. So nobody knows when anybody is going to highest ROI. So it's kind of just all of it is a simulation, a guess. You can't really predict the whole thing. I mean, you can kind of predict it by looking at people's end stakes, but people can emergency end stake anytime as well, which I actually think, and it does, it changes it. And I think people are probably going to start emergency end staking before the adoption amplifier ends, because they're going to see the share rate that it's going to triple. So, and they're like, oh, these smart guys that, I got in, right? I'm going to be the one of the first people that gets out after the big payday. And then they start really looking at Hex. They may have done that on day 2 or something like that. And then they start really looking at Hex and Hex shares. And they're like, oh, snap. Like, I don't want to get out then. And then they have to emergency and stake it. So I think that within our last 2 weeks of the adoption amplifier, probably in November, it's going to get crazy. I think that there's going to be so many emergency end stakes, people staking, people staking for a long period of time.
Yeah, your hex per share is or per trillion shares is going to go up, and you get the emergency end stakes at the same time. So there's a lot of beautiful, beautiful game theory that he's rolled into this.
The simulation I was talking about is without the emergency end stake penalties. The emergency end stake penalties will make the simulation go even faster up.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
Faster, and then also the more interest you get, which also compounds. Guys, this is just crazy. That's why we call it fundamentals, right? That's why I call it fundamentals.
Dude, and that's why I hate when people are calling it a scam, because it's like, dude, you're wrecking your own like fan base on this one. Because if they actually, if you showed them, they could be making a really good profit off of even in just Hex. If it just stayed stagnant, the price for the next 10 years, we're still making a good chunk of money every day.
And let's
for
be
people
honest,
that got in. Like, we don't even have to worry about the US price. We can just worry about the Hex.
I agree, Hexo. And let's be honest, guys, 800 million new coins a day being minted, between the adoption amplifier gets a copy, the 20% referral, the 10%, and then the 500 million all at one time. We're at a steady price with almost 1 billion new coins a day coming out. Can you imagine when that supply stops, how fast the price starts to go up?
Right.
Yep. Look at Weiss. Did you guys see that tweet by Weiss Crypto or Weiss Capital?
Yeah.
Oh my God, man.
No, I was like, dude, because he said like, what value does it have? Where does it derive its value from? But it's like, dude, you realize that you're saying the same things that fiat guys say about Bitcoin?
Yeah.
It's just so like you're
Same
that
exact
dumb.
argument.
Like exactly. Where does Bitcoin get its value from? Well, where does Uniswap token get its value from?
Yeah.
Like
That's why I
nobody
said,
who
like-
cares? This is crypto, man.
Yeah.
It's printed out of nowhere.
Well, shoot,
and
that's
it's
what the
worth
gold
something.
guys say about the fiat guys.
Yeah.
Where does it get its value from?
And then the space Martians, the Anunnaki are the ones asking where does the gold
That's right.
get its value from?
That's right. Why
Probably
is
the
this shit-
Or
Anunnaki.
they want it. Who knows what?
Yeah.
That's what happened to the YouTube channel. You mentioned the Anunnaki.
Oh
Oh,
shit, we're
no.
banned. We're banned.
That's why you got
Get it
banned
out.
from YouTube, right
yeah,
there.
I was
Oh,
way
dang
too
it.
controversial.
The masters of the universe shut you
Yeah,
down.
they're like, oh, jeez, he's on to us. He's on to us.
The sapper in the comments said crypto's like selling farts.
They're like, stop flapping your wings over there, Anunnaki.
Isn't it funny that they could give out 400 tokens and they're worth $2,000 a piece and everybody's just fine with it. Everybody's like, hey, yeah, these things are worth $1,600. That's amazing. Nobody asks where does it get its value from. Nobody asks where are they getting the money? Like they're just cool with it. Everybody's just like, yeah. I mean, maybe some of the Bitcoin maximalists that didn't get any are probably pretty pissed about it, but they probably are saying a little something. On Tone Vase's on his channel, he's probably pretty worried about it. But
when I came out, when I came on the show tonight, I had my Bitcoin hat on and my Bitcoin shirt. I was like, oh, I feel terrible. I didn't get my Uni.
Dude, for real, these guys must be so butthurt right now.
Yeah.
They are, man.
You know what? I thought about something today. I really think that Uniswap is the same exact thing as HEX. I think Uniswap and HEX are the same thing because if you provide liquidity on Uniswap, what do you get? You get liquidity provider token. You get Uni, right? If you buy HEX, what do you get? You get more HEX. So it's actually the same thing. But HEX did it like half a year earlier.
Well, yeah, but you can't, like, if I staked it right now, I wouldn't get any Uni token. Like that was just
No.
it seemed like maybe a one-time thing. They might give it out
If you
more,
provide
but
liquidity though, then you get Uni token.
Yeah, if you provide liquidity, then it's
Gotcha.
like staking it because then you get paid rewards. Like,
Gotcha.
so you're trading your coin on Uniswap for liquidity provider token. They literally you get a token in your wallet, and that's what determines how what your portion of the liquidity pool is paid. So that's essentially your shares. That liquidity token is your shares. So that's what he's making the comparison to.
Okay, I got you.
Except HEX pays you better than being a liquidity provider on
Yeah.
Uniswap.
There's only two things that give something value. It's the community or it's the investors.
Yep.
So we got the community, which is, that's the whole thing about our, the bigger our community gets, the more people that are involved, the better the coin does. And I, as somebody who was on Steam I was on the Steam team and all that kind of stuff. The only reason why our coin was going up at the time was because our community kept growing. We got up to, I think it was like 300,000 people at one time. So then the coin went all the way up to like $3.50. It went from 7 cents to $3.50. And but you never got any payouts. All you could do was vote yourself up. And when it got to $3.50, then it was just so difficult to get enough steam to make it worthwhile. Well, in HEX, we're getting paid out tons more HEX. So anybody can come in after us, and they can, with the fundamentals that are going on, they can still do well too. You couldn't do that in the older cryptocurrencies. There was no really you had your staking coins for voting power, like Dash and Pivx and all that kind of stuff.
But you had to have such with a master node. Yeah, with master nodes and stuff. I remember I was in Bean Cash. I was in BitBean. I was a BitBeaner. I was trying to get those. Excuse me, Liberty.
No beaner smack.
I was a BitBeaner. I don't know if that's a racist term, but I was growing corn stalks, like it was bean stalks. Excuse me. And I was like left and right. I was trying to grow up to a big bean, but then it was like. Dude, you had to have so much.
Is that
you
like
had to have like 50 grand?
Cron computer or what?
How could anybody in crypto actually say something like what gives it its value when we have
I know.
stupid ass shit. Like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's how I learned. I was like, dude, you can't say anything. Like, I invested in BitBean, and I know other people were in it because I was in a community of BitBean guys. And I was like, all right, guys, we are all part of the Bean Squad. Like, we had a little bean with a rocket pack on him, and that was like our mascot. I didn't really get involved. I just had like, I bought it at like 4 Satoshis, and it went up to like 120 or something like that. So I made a killing, but like with the extra that I had, you could put it. They had like a staking system, but it was so slow, dude. It was awful. It was awful.
Bro. Were you the beanologist? Come on.
Hey.
The beanologist.
You guys get it.
I'm gonna go find that YouTube channel.
Oh my gosh! Don't look at the beanologist, guys. Don't look at that. Don't look for it. Don't look for it. You all see me with the rocket pack on. Hi, everybody. I'm the beanologist.
Your moon suit.
Crypto is so stupid.
Yeah. Dude, you know how stupid crypto is? You can dress up as a doctor and have your own show, and people like, oh yeah, this guy knows he's got a doctor suit on. It's probably
One Hexy Mofo says that makes you a beanie baby. Hey, funding Jim. Heck yeah, buddy. Thanks for the the diamond, man.
DM I'll tell you the link. Oh, there's funding Jim.
Oh, don't forget.
But like just the crypto space. I mean, just the them in general, like not the people, but it's just like just crypto Twitter. It's just like sushi coin. Just look at all the coins that are coming out. That's like, I feel like we have probably the smartest people here in the Hex crowd. Like I honestly, like there's some top guys that are. I don't know anybody else. Anybody else that doesn't want to call Hex a scam. It's just like that's how I derive if you're actually intelligent at this point or not, or if that you actually do your research. Because if you do your research, then you're gonna come to find out that it like maybe you think it's a bad project, like Ivan says, because he sees because I think he has to be kind of like sit on the fence, or you're gonna call it a scam at this point. Like there's no real in between for these guys. It seems like because he sees. What's up, Hex Help or Funding Jim?
We got.
Hey, what's up, Eric?
I had to mute you real quick there, Funding Jim. You had some feedback.
When Hexoswap. Oh, Hexoswap's coming soon. Don't you guys worry?
Hexoswap?
Yeah.
Bean swap.
Sorry about that.
No worries, man. Hexo bean swap.
So what's the consensus? I actually was doing other phone calls and stuff. So what's the consensus on what's happening? I see a lot of stuff that was on the crypto channel itself, the Hex channel, and then like it seemed like for a while it's became a uni channel, and then really I'm trying to catch up. And you guys have been streaming a couple of times. So what do you guys come up with as far as? I was asking earlier, Richard, about if we should have kept the token and been a liquidity provider. Like we have so much momentum and so much mass in Hex because I think that Uni really was popularized the first 4 months, really only by the Hex community. The reason why I counted now, I've had 12 wallets. So 8 of those wallets I was able to execute here in Puerto Rico, but I have 4 other wallets in California that I just can't get to until I get there. And so he seems to not say be a liquidity provider and about that's shorting basically one token, one side of a token exchange. But also I've heard him comment in the past about when Ethereum goes up because it's tied to Hex, that Hex goes up as well. So has there been a consensus as far as the tokenomics and about what actually brings adoption of not just Hex? And if we are basically, I heard Ada Hex earlier when I was listening on my phone saying something about how Uni is the same as Hex. I don't think it is, but maybe I'm missing something when it comes to what is a value proposition and where should this economic energy of this free claim go to. So have you guys had that kind of conversation?
Yep.
I sold all mine.
I sold all
I did too. I sold all 8 wallets. I have 4 other wallets that I'll convert into HEX and stake into long-term HEX. You know, the testimony of somebody like, I don't know if it was publicly said, but I know that there's a link about it. The 10 million that's been put out 15 years. You know, that was a unique claim of 8,100 tokens that immediately got converted into $25,000, and that $25,000 was thrown 15 years out. Yeah, I think he said it, but I wasn't sure he was like.
No, he put it on Twitter. He put it on Twitter.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
So Steph doing that, I can see the business reason, and I can see the maybe tipsy on wine reason. You know, honestly. But you know, he has a staker app that's coming out. So does Firebund. That's going to be a soon release. This is a testimony of faith. I mean, really, to throw 25 grand in today's dollars and in this economy and the world state into 15 years in the future is a big testimony about HEX. So I like that. I like that a lot. And I'm tempted to throw, you know, all of the uni that I got converted into HEX at the same type of long length, because obviously I'm putting my face into the internet. You guys are too. We're obviously OG as far as whether we got involved long ago or we came on board more recently. I think that there's a lot of that energy. And I do see how Richard kind of is avoiding right now being too promoting, because maybe that's SEC stuff about what he can and can't say inside of a community. There are rules about that. Like, can he entice people, just like as an influencer, can he entice people to make a financial decision? So I'm curious if the mathematics, somebody like Randy that's been in the space for an awfully long time, as both a marketer of different projects. I was pretty high up in Steemit the same sort of way. I was pretty involved with Steemit, and I saw that climb meteorically, and I saw that collapse. And like he was saying, it's either the community or it's the math and the code, you know, but sometimes it's not both. What I love about HEX is it seems to be both. It seems to be code. It seems to be tokenomic. It seems to be a trader experience about what worked in the past that built this thing. And it's obviously a community, you know, us being public faces to it. It's something I would like to have consensus and have a better understanding of what you guys think.
I think if I had more, I only had the one wallet. I don't keep a lot of wallets. I know like you guys have a bunch. I wasn't one of those guys. So if I had more unis, say if I had 4 or 5 wallets, I probably would have done what you guys are saying with the liquidity provider. Because I love that idea of having unis in the HEX coin. That would have been great. But.
Well, I had a lot of wallets because one, I had charity. So all of my referral stuff goes to charity. And so even though I didn't really like promote a lot of the referral link and things like that. I didn't do it a lot, but it was in the bottom of my YouTube stuff. And so it got $2,000 just because it had a claim ability to it, right? And then I had other ones that I was setting up really to be gifts. I know if they ever had an issue where you could transfer staked HEX as a gift or as a giveaway or as a promotion, like, you know, I know RG3 is doing this $1 million promotion for Art Dlive. I know other tokens, like in 2017, that thought about the same thing. They had a staking mechanism. It was a value for time and things like that kind of mechanism. And when they released second layer products, they would give away a ledger. And the ledger had basically tokens that if they never moved, then they had a time value because they just had never moved. Now that still has a risk because you don't know if somebody else has the seed, that they later can move them. But the value of the token wasn't the token. The value of the token in that system was it had been staked for an awfully long time, and the time would completely obliterate if you moved the token off of the ledger, you know, or off as an ERC20 off of any if it moved from one address to another address, it wiped out the time element. So staking mechanism inside, and I talked with Richard about this long before the launch. He knows a lot more details, and so does Crypto Beatles and all these other people. I talked about this about a year before the launch of HEX. So some of these mechanisms of staking and some of the, you know, it's a Binance coin, it's a whatever coin, it's a consensus coin. This is how EOS did it. You know, I've seen those things play out over and over and over. And some of it has a new idea and a new adoption. Some of it just has a lot of marketing and, you know, hype basically moves people. So I'm curious what, you know, some of the savvy people that have been around these different tokenomics and involved with a face in other communities what your thoughts are about, you know, the uni coup d'etat that's going on.
The coup
Anybody else?
d'etat.
Yeah, I mean, it's Binance and KuCoin and Coinbase have never bought or sold their competitor's token before. You don't buy Coinbase token USDC on KuCoin. You don't buy it on Binance. They don't want to market their competitor when it comes to a CEX.
Well, that's what I thought. I think that's why they're putting it on. I think that's why they were trying to wreck the DeFi space in general. I think they're the ones that put out all this stuff. And now you can see that they've all been talking and cooperating behind the scenes, and you're like, oh, okay, so you guys wrecked the entire space, and now you have their coin, and so it really just shows that they have been talking behind the scenes. And maybe you put out these really bad projects, and the only ones that they want to actually succeed are the ones that Binance will promote on their smart contract, because they're doing their own. RG3, you're muted, bro.
You're muted, Beer.
I did.
Oh, yeah.
Power.
Well, he was popping, so I didn't.
Yeah, his sound pops a lot.
It wasn't mutiny this time. It was for production quality.
I think that's Gary's mic.
No, it stopped when I muted you.
Yeah, it stops when you're not on. It's been his phone before. It's happened in other situations. We think he's cracking a water bottle, but it's something about his phone.
Yeah, I can hear it again now.
It's not fine. So my curiosity, what I was saying is, go ahead, I can hear you.
Just like other crypto. They want to dirty it up like other crypto, so they're mushing it around with theirs. You know, I mean,
Isn't it possible that maybe they went and they bought a piece? Maybe they're the investors behind Uniswap now.
Well, Coinbase itself, Coinbase owns a part of Uni. They don't. It's not the token. They own part of the company of Uni. They're in the company. So I saw that played out in other systems too, right? Is you don't think there's VC until you find out there's a deal that's been signed, and then after it's been signed, you know, what's interesting is, you know, I don't want to get into the technicals, but HEX DEX went down for whatever reason, and then you see that V1 disappears altogether on Uni. You really only see V2 now. So the front end elements, even though there's a smart contract that forever will live on Ethereum, as far as I know, of V1, that contract, you know, should we build a front end that's only interacting with V1? Because I see that the reason that they migrated over is because that's where all the coins are and the trading is going to happen. And later they will migrate to V3, and V3 may be more of a payout to these centralized exchanges. So I'm trying to figure out what the strategy will be long-term of the DeFi space that only people are using Uniswap. And I'm kind of curious what you guys think about that conglomeration.
Well, I know my buddy Scott of Halo Platform is getting ready to launch his DEX. He has a DEX already, it's Halo Platform, but it wasn't very successful because you needed to have it didn't work with MetaMask. It had its own coin. It was built on Quorum. So now he's moving over to Ethereum and built his DEX, and it's going to have order books, and it's going to be very cool. And I want to approach him as the HEX community and say, hey, look, man, you're building this amazing DEX and you're launching it. Why, you know, you should grab a hold of what the HEX community has and let us run with it. You know, kiss our ass and give us everything we want in a DEX. And you'll never have to worry about marketing.
Well, you know, if we were working for them, they could have left it alone. But obviously, there's not a lot of profit when they didn't have a dev percentage. You know, so the V1 launching on the Ethereum Foundation funding, I think that was kind of honest to the principle of crypto. You know, what's your overhead? What's your real cost? What does it cost to run your server? What's your employee wants it to get it built? And how do you repay that with a margin, with a profit? Fine, build something like that. I think that's great. But it ends up being another rent-seeking situation. I think that probably what's going to happen right now, I think that the Binance, you know, if you go under 2 Bitcoin, there's no KYC, supposedly. You still have email address, and there's still all kinds of linkage that comes just from email address. If you have a Gmail account and you've got a Binance account, you're KYC'd. You don't know it, but you are. There's all kinds of ways that that information. And then that as far as the United States, these centralized exchanges, they're by law supposed to be passing the KYC information along with the token. So the data is transferring with the token, whether that's going to KuCoin in a different country or Binance in a different country or whatever. That information is tagged, quote unquote, right? So it's very interesting that we've built things like, or the things that have been built like the HEX Tornado. I think that's interesting in general. If people are interested in privacy, they can have that element in the HEX. And I think that this purchasing and this promotion and this hype cycle, of course, that's happening with a quote unquote giveaway is still going to catch the attention of international government regulators in general. And they're going to say things like Coinbase has KYC. Up to a certain level, they can interact with Binance, right? And if $10,000 leaves from Coinbase and it goes to Binance and it becomes $1 million, and then money comes back, there's going to be that tracking element. And I think that the DEX of Uni is basically getting into the same bed. You may think that it's operating as a DEX and it has all those powers now, and it might still now. But I think there's going to be there might even be attachment. I'm speculating. There might be attachment to the Uni token. Everybody that says, hey, I've got $1,000 or $2,000 I can go get, you might be doxxed. Who knows?
I mean, you already doxed yourself by using Uniswap by then, because they already know that you used it. So it's like, they know that it's active. Maybe it's for like, if they wanted to track you for tax purposes or something like that, they could be like, well, you look at that. You said that you weren't using this wallet, but looks like it free claimed a whole bunch of tokens.
Yeah, but you
so
already
it's like
sent you already sent Ethereum from your Coinbase wallet to your MetaMask
Yeah.
And you can see this being released right now is things like the Fed coin that is releasing. There is a Fed coin. There might be ties to saying, they'll say exactly what they've been saying, which is, if you need money, here's how you get the government money, right? And built into the tokens code itself will probably be a deflationary or an inflationary element, so it will be an economic trade kind of token, but it's still going to have almost like quadratic formulas, like when you have quadratic funding. So I'm not trying to say that it's all going to go to shit, but I'm apprehensive. It's hard to resist $2,000. Who's not going to do it? A lot of people that know like economic history of the gold standard, right? If you talk about how much was gold worth, well, it was worth what the market would pay for it. And if the government says they will pay more, then people voluntarily give up their gold. They say, oh, it normally sells for 20, but today the government's going to give me 35. Okay, or 25, or whatever the history was. They paid a premium. Government printed money, bought gold from the general public, and also declared if you don't turn it in, it's criminal. Many people didn't fight to turn it in or to against turning it in because they said, hey, I'm getting more money for it. So as a market force, and so that collected that value. And then it got redenominated, right? It got redenominated as a higher value to settle debts to foreign countries. So I'm not saying that, I see these same things kind of playing out from our history. And I'm curious, what gets a HEX prominent, popularized? What gets it traded? What gets it, an execution price on Ethereum versus some other substrata? What's the benefit of collaborating with and promoting Uniswap from this point forward? I was talking with Kinetics earlier today. Should it be that everybody that's in HEX, however many people, have 100 or 200 wallets? It doesn't take much to make an Ethereum wallet and trade $5 worth of HEX. That kind of concentrated thing. One, it would mean that more of the release, if there's a release of this consortium of DEXs and centralized exchanges, if they're going to do this airdrop kind of thing for the next 3 years, why wouldn't we want to have HEX qualify? All HEX. And why wouldn't each HEX person want to have 100 addresses to claim? I'm curious about that kind of strategy going forward.
I'm just too damn lazy. I might do 5 or something.
Well, and plus
They
it's
could
like
take like-
$50 a transaction right now. So it's like
Yeah.
you're gonna spend $5 to stake some hex, but then you're gonna spend $50 to, like the gas fees. That kind of sucks. But like the Uniswap, somebody I can't remember who was saying it. That like Uniswap might be the next play, because they might be dropping a token. Who knows if they will? But maybe their Chi token, maybe they give that out to everybody that's used their platform, and maybe you open up accounts on their, every DEX that you use, because maybe, like we've seen centralized exchanges give away not give away, but give out their tokens for $1 a piece, and then they go to $30. Well, maybe that's the new play, is Uniswap does it, and then the next decentralized exchange does it, and it just keeps doing that to further their exchange. Because it's free for them. I mean, how much did they spend? They said they gave away $1 billion or whatever, but
so
honestly,
this played out in 2017. Everybody probably remembers 2017. And remember when KuCoin was non-existent? Remember when it released? And remember when Binance was not even a name you could say out loud? You didn't even know it. It didn't exist. That's not that long ago. Right. And I remember
referral program.
Yeah, I remember that there were
big referrals.
They had like there was an England and a Poland exchange, like CEX or something like that. There's all these exchanges that started to do what they saw as examples of making money. And so KuCoin became popular, Binance became dominant. Other things that were quote unquote going to do the same thing, and this is kind of speaking what Hexologist just said, do the same thing, were like COSS or cost or however you say that.
Yeah.
And they released a coin. I bought that fucking coin. I was like, yes, it's going to happen too. It's going to be just like the Binance and the KCS, and you're going to make money off that. Well, that went to shit. 2016 went down the window for me. I was like, God damn, I'm an idiot, right? So I would love to have like a Mooney, speculation, participate, have a bunch of wallets, use Mooney, but I only want to move in concert with what other, the majority of the Hex mass is going to do.
Right.
And if we have a storyline where we said this makes sense for these reasons because they're not gatekeeping us, we can easily tell our friends and family about this particular exchange because they're cooperative, even when Randy is saying about somebody else launching a new one. For a while I thought that like, who is it? McAfee, the lunatic, he had his exchange, and he kept saying, well, if they take down the front end, all it takes is somebody else to put up another front end, or maybe we'll have 10 or 12 front ends that feed to the same contract. If that were the case, I would love that. I would be like, okay, we in concert are going to bring value to the world about what crypto really is. If it truly was decentralized, if it truly didn't have the locks, and it didn't have the funneling that these centralized exchanges obviously have done inside of Uni.
Totally agree.
Yeah, I think that's it's probably, and that's ultimately what I think will happen, is that there's gonna be forks of Uniswap and stuff like that. I mean, Uniswap did it. There's gonna be multiple of them, and like you said, the cost coin. Like I think that there'll probably there'll be 10 in this bull run that open up, but 1 or 2 of them might be the reign supreme afterwards. So, but it like you said, it will probably depend on if you're there first, and if they're just gonna give you tokens. I mean, use if you have 4 wallets already open, just maybe transact on a few of them. You don't have to do anything crazy, but $5, like you said, of a transaction could get you $1,500, like we just saw, or more if they're throwing them out like candy.
Well, I'd love to have people put their minds together, and maybe we should have meetings that are a little closed about that kind of thing. But I'll give you a tiny backstory, a really quick abbreviated version. So I started my credit history when I was 14 years old. And I started my credit history because my dad was kind of an asshole about finance. He was really smart about it too, but he hired me at 14 years old for his own tax reasons. And when he hired me as an employee, right, I stacked papers before there was coalition of Xerox and stuff like that. I stacked his legal papers, right, and put them in order or some shit. Then I didn't get paid, but he kept money and he kept ledgers and he kept those accounts until I turned old enough to have an account that would be only me without a cosigner. So when that happened, he took me to the bank, and I didn't know what was going on. But he basically said, okay, now you have this money. I think I had saved up $1,000 or something that he ended up giving back to me at the date that I opened up these bank accounts. And the first bank account, basically, he said we went to the bank, talked to the person in person, and he said, my son wants to open a savings account. Okay, sign the papers, do all the things, because I legally could have it without a cosigner in Louisiana where I was living at 14. You could drive at 14 also. Things have changed a little bit. But so I had that, and then once it happened, it took about 15 minutes. Then he said, okay, now the money is there. Here's the money. It's in the account. Then he said, okay, my son wants to open a signature loan. They didn't have credit cards, or at least they weren't as popular for teenagers back then or something. And they said, he wants to open a signature loan. What's the collateral? The collateral is that savings account, the one that you just opened, the cash that's in that account. Okay, what's the interest rate? About 2%, way less than normal because they already had the cash. The bank already had the money. Why wouldn't they write a super crazy low interest rate for something that I'm getting the exact same amount of money that I have already staked, right?
So how old were you, Gary?
14.
Damn.
Yeah.
I
So-
started my first job like at 15. So yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
crazy.
but I didn't get paid as money to spend on my, my life or friends. I got paid on paper so that he could keep a legal and a record of
He
paying.
didn't pay you under the table?
Mm-mm.
Damn.
No.
He made you pay taxes?
Well,
He's all, no, you're gonna pay the man.
so when I turned 14, I got several things. He helped me with the bank account. He helped me with the signature loan, and he also started charging me rent. So,
Damn. So, there you go.
That's
I guess
cool.
That is cool. It's like, damn, Dad.
but what I'm
Rent.
getting at is what he did was a daisy chain. Many people know what a daisy chain means in military. You do, but basically what he did was the cash became the savings became the collateral enabled the loan, which gave me $1,000. That was at bank number one. The same day we opened 5 different savings accounts and 5 different signature loans. So at the beginning I put in 1,000. The 1,000 went through that process and they gave me 1,000. Then we went to the next bank, not a different branch of the same company, but a completely different organization, and opened another bank and did that process. And it was a year-long loan. And he knew, I didn't know, of course, I'm 14, but he knew that if you had been making payments for 9 months or longer, then it shows on a credit report. So my credit started when I was 14. And that lends into all your other stuff that you do in a normal finance world. How much is your interest rate on your house? How easy is it for you to get a car loan? How much cash can you get from someone just because you sign your name to a piece of paper? I'm able to get like $500,000 just if I sign my name. I don't want to do that shit, right? Because and even if it's collateralized or not, but it does set you up. And I think in the crypto world, those finance tools are going to be available. Whether you want to stay completely non-KYC, non-AML, I'm a rebel and I would love the Wild West and I'm just going to throw a coin on the table to pay for my shit. That might be the world we go into. It might be a barter world. But I really don't know what to look at for the next 5 years, especially since I have 15-year-long stakes. This is a different animal to be in HEX.
Yeah, do you do anything, because you're pretty aware of the financial markets? Do you do anything for 15 years? Obviously there's CDs and stuff, but like you don't really do people really even think that far? I mean, there's 30-year CDs, 30-year mortgages and stuff like that, but I feel like
I got to get my plug. One moment.
There's real estate trusts that are not liquid, a lot of illiquid private placement investments.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like 15 years is so, I mean, especially in crypto. Crypto is like a different, like a month in crypto is like what, a year or something like that they always joke about.
Mhm.
Well,
But it's like crypto 5 years is like
It's
3
insane.
years ago, like Bitcoin was going to 20K. Like it's like a completely different environment at this point.
You got your lottery tickets, right? People play the lottery. I think right now we're more like a raffle. HEX right now with a 15-year stakes is kind of like a raffle. So you got that 1 in maybe 20 or maybe 50 chance that you're going to be a billionaire because of what happens with HEX.
Yeah.
And think about it. Bitcoin doesn't even have 15 years.
No,
Mm-mm.
just
Damn.
past 10.
And again, if you're thinking it's a change of culture and a change of life, there was a time where we lived in caves. There was a time that we just built what we wanted with our own hands. There was a time where there was no such thing as trading title of ownership of anything. And those things migrated through as we move through civilization. So as we move now to where your value is on your cell phone and what you can move back and forth, I don't know, is that the future that we're going to? Is there actual ownership, or is it just you grease through life, in a cash flow system, Yeah. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Randy? I mean, you're kind of you're traveling in different countries and cultures. What do you think?
You're totally mobile today. I just had this call with my buddy, one of the guys that started Fidelity. I talked to him yesterday, had a great call with him, and I have a shit ton of his coins because I'm the one that set him up with crypto. And I said, look, I'm not traveling with your money. I said, you need to make an effort to set up some wallets. And I said, it's very easy. You can even put them on your phone. And his son, his son's in his 20s. He said, Randy, I'll do it for him. I'll make sure it gets done. And I said, please, because I'm not going to Mexico carrying all this money. I mean, they have those the AML and the rules where you're not supposed to go over with $10,000 cash. But man, there's people crossing borders today with millions. Yeah. Millions. Okay, not just on their electronic devices, but you can do even more than that if you just know your codes.
Yeah.
If you know your
well, that's the thing too. Is your seed and your wallet and your protection. It's locked on the blockchain, quote unquote, but it goes into the legal declaration of what does that mean. Because I know that in Australia, if you travel with a ledger in your pocket, quote unquote, you're moving your coins across the border and you should have declared it. So I know there are people that don't go to Australia just because of that gray.
Or you put it in your prison wallet before you come in.
Yeah. So again, when it comes to whether it's concert or kind of just what, paying attention to where the HEX community is going, I see HEX people that are, they never have really commented a lot inside there, but over the past 24 hours, obviously there's a lot of conversation in the HEX channel about Uni. And I don't want them to get wrecked. I mean, I saw earlier it was like $10 or $11 or whatever it was recently. Wasn't it like $11?
No, I think did it get up to 11? I thought it got up to $8.
It got up to 809 was its top today.
Oh, I thought I saw 11. But I mean,
maybe on Binance.
It
I'm
got
looking
up
at
to
it right
15 now. On Binance right after it got distributed.
Yeah, it's $6.20 right now. It got clear up to $8.50.
Real quick, I just got to bring this up. House cleaning stuff. You guys are doing great in the chat. I appreciate you guys. We freaking love you guys. You guys are the most generous of all of us, of all the crypto communities. And so I appreciate it. And I do need to address this one. It's very serious. It's addressing you there, Gary. It says from the Sapper, when my dad took me aside at 12 for a father-son talk, it was about compound interest, not the birds and bees.
True, man. And again, it sets people up for a financial life,
For real, yeah. I wish my dad would have taught me that shit. Dude, my dad didn't say nothing about money. He's just like, all right, see you later. Have fun out there. It's like, I got money. I'm going to buy a pocket TV. That was my first purchase when I was because I used to work in the cornfields. So I bought one of these pocket TVs that had an antenna. Yeah. It was like, dude, I didn't save none of my money.
I've had these different cycles. I turned 17 and I wanted to join the military. And the military really isn't a money system. It's not like you're going to become wealthy. It's an adventure system. You're either being something patriotic or I'm going to go to some country that I've never been before or whatever it is. But I was in the service for 11 years. And so money didn't really mean anything for all of my 20s. It really didn't mean that much.
You just get a paycheck. You just get that paycheck no matter what. It doesn't matter what you do with it. You could get blackout drunk for the first 3 days, which is what you usually did. And then it was just like, and then all your money's gone. So you got to sit in the barress for the rest of the next 2 weeks. You're like, chow hall food.
There's so many people like you guys, all you guys know. There's so many people that they burn through their money and then they say, okay, I've got to be, chow hall. I've got to have breakfast. At least I've got clothes, even though it's a uniform. Yeah. At least I've got a place to sleep, Yeah.
And then when you get out, man, it's like a totally different beast because you got to actually worry about money. You can't just blow through it in 3 days.
Well, in the core, you want to go to the field so that you can save up some money. You're like, okay, we're going to go to a
Catch up to
comment or
everybody
something in
else
Palm
that
Springs.
Yeah, Brooks.
True.
is here.
So real quick, guys, I just got to thank Hex Toshi. He just gifted 10 1-month subscriptions to people in the channel.
Wow, thanks,
Wow.
Sextochi.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Hex
Actually,
Toshi,
that's actually
you are a
pretty cool.
baller, man. You are a generous man. Thank you,
You
sir,
know
for your
what Gary
contribution.
Pop was teaching him about what compound interest and whatnot. My old man gave me 2 pieces of advice. He said, if you look down at your shirt and your first name is on it, you didn't make it, boy. And then the other thing he said to me was, don't date got more tattoos than you.
That's true. That's true. Don't date the chick.
Tiny little story. I went to boot camp, and as you know, when you go to boot camp, you do get your name on the one uniform, and then the rest of the uniforms are getting their names and embroidery over the course of the first week, whatever, right? So you kind of wear the same uniform for like the first week or something while all this other stuff is happening. And one of the guys,
we had the markers that stenciled our names on them.
yeah,
We did them all at one time.
yeah. So yeah, ours was getting embroidered or something. I remember that there was I had a Filipino DI, and one of the guys, he must have been French, I guess, but his last name was Dicgraber, right? So his name, he would say, is Dgraber, or whatever the French way of saying it was, something like that. But of course, everybody called him Dick Grabber, right? Like, you're Dick Grabber, right? And the Filipino DI, drill instructor, is constantly saying, Dick Grabber, get down on the ground and give me 20, like all that. And everybody's like laughing, and the whole boot camp was that guy's name. So if you have to announce to the world what your name is, you're kind of screwed up. Dick Grabber.
And he was in the Navy.
Yeah, he's a Navy guy. He's a Navy guy.
I'm a sailor. I'm a Navy guy, but
you got to change your name. I mean, you can't do this, dude.
You can't ever be on a ship.
Yeah. But so you guys, you've been talking for a couple of hours, and over the course of the past 48 hours, what do you think is going to happen in the coming week, and what do you think that maybe the community should look at or concentrate? One thing I wanted to say earlier is I know that I sold a lot at like $3.50 and a lot at $2.50. Basically, whenever it would execute, then it would go through. Then I just sold whenever I first got them. But what's interesting is I do hear people saying and rumblings, maybe they should hold, and it's people that are not known. It's not like people that have faces, but they are in the HEX Crypto site. What I was going to comment is, if you sold early, if you want to call it early, I sold because I thought it was going to collapse, but it did rise, and it probably will collapse completely, in my opinion, eventually. If you take that economic value of $2, $3, wherever it is that you executed, $5, $6, if you take that value and you stake it longer in HEX, then your compounding effect will make up for the fact that you sold at $3 instead of $6, or you sold at $6 instead of $8. Or whatever it is that people speculate that Uni might be worth in the future. I know that Binance coin is like $27 now, and I remember when it was 10 cents or 20 cents or when it first released. So anybody that kind of thinks, man, maybe I should hold on to it, it's going to go up more, maybe I should be part of this, that, or the other. Just remember, if you turn it into HEX economic energy and you properly stake it out, even in a ladder or whatever, but you stake it out and you do what the engine tells you, there's the possibility, I won't say there's a guarantee, there's a possibility that your compounding HEX amount in mass will make up for whatever you would consider selling early in the Uni token. At least that's my opinion.
I think so too. We looked at the shares and how it compounds tonight just to kind of show people. And I mean, if you traded your Uni token in for somebody just said they got 420,000 HEX, which is probably around like 4 times as much. So it's probably like 100. Yeah, it's probably 100 because I think I got 27 trillion shares for 100,000 HEX. So it's probably 4 times that. So I'm going to say 100. Let's just round it to 100 trillion shares. So right now you're getting 100 trillion times 4 a day. So because you're getting paid 4 HEX a day, so you're getting about 400 HEX each day right now, and that's only going to continue to rise. And like we said, in 10 years, that trillion shares is going to be worth it's going to be 100 trillion because that's how many shares that you have times, what we say, 1,000, probably 500 to 1,000 so you're going to be making quite a lot of hex in that
Per day.
per day.
So I did the math in my stream also right after Steph did his 10 million, and I did the same kind of math. And when I was looking at 4 hex per trillion, and I did the math earlier, he took basically, because he was a liquidity provider and he had his claims, and it racked up to be 8,100 because, again, building code and doing things that were supportive of the community, all the stuff that Carbon and Steph have done, right? So obviously that was speaking truth of his conviction of putting his time, his money, and his intellect and innovation toward building something, right? So because of that, he was awarded 8,100 uni. Now, I also talked earlier, I believe that the uni value, if you put it into a dollar value, is because of the inertia that was overcome by the HEX community. So I see it as that energy or that promotion or marketing or availability or what convinced Binance or Coinbase or whoever to invest into this token release. I believe that economic energy is because the inertia was overcome by the HEX community and participation and spread to the DeFi idea and the YAM and the sushi stuff, and it caught the attention. So when that money came back to Steph converted that 8,100 into HEX that at the time was worth $25,000 and staked it for 15 years. And so when it came down to the trillions of shares that he has in that stake, it awards him 11,000, like 11,500 or something, but 11,000 HEX per day.
Yeah.
And so if the HEX price never changed, and this calculation was done on it being 0.0025, but if it had never changed, that participation, that award, that staking will award $150,000 at the end, by the end of his stake. He could early end stake and give up his interest at 7.5 years. We all know that. But what I'm saying is that momentum and that participation, that energy, if that happens, then that's $150,000 if the price never ever changes on HEX.
And that didn't even include big payday.
Yeah, and it's big payday and all these other things. And if it goes to a penny, then that's $600,000. If it goes to 10 cents, that's $6 million. So you look at the power of a compounding mechanism like HEX. You look at the fact that even though there might be a benevolent, motivated kind of big bag holder in the system, I don't think they're doing things to hurt this momentum. I don't think that there's a value enough to hurt it when something like a uni token booms up like this in value. So I can see a lot of potential on HEX. I can see a lot of conversion and transformation of that uni energy coming back into HEX like a pendulum.
People are selling it. If let's say it does go to $15 and people haven't sold their uni yet, and they do sell it for Ethereum, and then they buy most people don't get out of crypto. Like there's very few people that take all their money out of crypto and then they sell it back for fiat dollars. Like I've been in crypto for 4 years and I haven't taken out $1 throughout the whole time because it's like it's so much of it.
Aren't we fucking perverted? I've had millions and I've had it come down to 37,000, and then I've had it back up, and I'm like, fucking A, the game.
Yeah,
and RG3's wife hates him because his brother-in-law cashed out and he didn't.
I've lived entirely off of crypto since 2016. So
Dude, that's awesome.
Again, I love Brandy's truth, which is he pays for his bills. Maybe he pays his rent in advance. He takes, when he can take it. He's not like a trader everyday guy, and he's in the business of marketing, of education, of all these other things that he gets paid for. So I think he's in a genuine kind of business as a digital nomad. And I think that it's really smart. He's living the lifestyle that he wants with his partner and stuff. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, it's great, man. When you
that's
can,
how
when you
everybody
can
wants to live.
and it is a problem when the price swings. Because I told the story, I think it was in the last one when I was in Prague. We were in a European tour, and I only had access to one of my cryptos when we were on the trip. And the price, that was the day in 2018 when the price of Bitcoin hit the low. It went down to like $3,000 or something. And I only had enough Bitcoin. I thought we had enough Bitcoin at the price of 6 where we get through the whole trip. It was a 6-week trip. We're like, okay, we have enough money to get through the whole trip. And then it collapsed. I'm like, oh my God, we still have 3.5 weeks left of this trip, and we've only got like $1,500 in our pocket. What are we gonna do? And but I had one coin that I still had available that I could access, and I had to sell it all to pay for the rest of the trip. Then that's the risk that you take when you live 100% off of crypto. And I know people think I'm a fool for doing it, but man, when you hit those highs, when that price starts flying up, guys, you're like, oh my God. And this time around, those of us who've been around since 2017 or earlier, our starting bag this time is much larger than it was when we originally got started, right? So this next bull run is going to be phenomenal for most of us.
It actually worked out kind of cool, even though I didn't use Uni. I found like a bunch of wallets that I hadn't used Uni, but they were Ethereum wallets. And I was like, oh yeah, I had that coin. What's that worth? Oh, fuck.
Make you cry. Make you cry.
Yeah.
I stepped out for a second, but
MetaMask and reinstall it. When I reinstalled it, and like I saw it, like a lot of the history was all gone. So the history was gone. So I had to look at the actual Etherscan. I was like, oh yeah, that's what that was for.
Yeah, someone tweeted, asked the question, what was your best win of all time? You know, so far my best win is
HEX. My best as far as ROI has been HEX. My best ROI. I've had like, you know, 15, 20x and it moved into a different coin kind of thing. You say, oh, did I profit? You know, because I profited by buying something else low with something that was going up or had gone up. But my best ROI has been HEX in general.
Yep.
Well,
and
actually,
it just makes sense because which one maybe not paid you the most in USD terms, but in the amount of money I've invested, HEX is definitely the best.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are assuming you've profited or taken profits from HEX, right? Right now, it's all on paper until it comes out, so it's hard to say, right? But earlier, what Gary was saying, I stepped out for a second, but I don't think there's any wrong answer. Whether people sold Uni and turned it into HEX, or if they turned it into cash, or they kept it in Uni, there's really no wrong answer. I mean, I think it's 10 years from now, we'll know. We had our winners, we had our losers. Our losers may have hedged our winners, but you know, we'll count then. I think HEX is going to be the winner, but as of right now, I think I've taken out $1.34 so far. So, you know, Bitcoin, I've cashed out a ton of Bitcoin, but you know, I mean, realized gains is, I guess what I'm talking about. I also thought it was funny claiming Uni last night felt like claiming Bitcoin back when we first launched. You guys remember how weird it was just to press the claim button and you just sit there and hope your Bitcoin didn't disappear.
Oh yeah,
I felt like that last night with Uni. Like, oh my gosh,
we're not all ballers. We're not all rich club fed guys like you, bro. We didn't get the free Bitcoin claims.
But last night with Uni, you know, I thought what Gary thought, like, hey, am I getting to get doxxed? Am I, you know what I mean? It's like, and it took all night to go ahead and claim my Uni. There was no way to speed it up like we would on for HEX. I was like, what did I just do? We'll see. Yeah. And in the morning we woke up, you know, the 400 Uni was there, but it was kind of fun.
Yeah, it's interesting that 1,000 Uni went to like this Uni sock thing or whatever it was. I know there's people in the community that had bought the Uni token, the single Uni token sock thing. That was kind of crazy too. That was what right now it's worth like $6,000 or $7,000, I guess.
Jeez.
But again, if you don't come out of, and if you don't execute and move it into dollar, it's just 3-card money.
Gains. Paper gains. Yep.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I think that people get into cryptocurrency to get out of the fiat system because I mean, if you really listen to everybody, they're like, everybody wants to live how Randy lives. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you hear anybody talking about crypto, everybody's talking about how Randy lives. Like, but nobody is brave enough to live like Randy lives. You know, there's very few people that are actually like, well, I'm going to put everything on it, you know, because it does fluctuate too much to where it's just like some people. I mean, it would be scary as hell to like live like that. And, you know, for a lot of people, and unless you got millions of dollars, like you're probably just like, well, I can't live off like that.
Well, I think what happened. If you have your own business and you're getting paid in crypto, it's different because you're getting paid in a dollar. it's a dollar amount in crypto.
With crypto, right?
So when
That
it
makes
fluctuates, some days you get more Bitcoin or more Ethereum,
right?
and then so it ends up evening out in the end.
So real quick, Billy Quarter Panda, thank you, sir, for the for the diamond. He wants Captain to not fall asleep. So Captain, don't fall asleep. It says here. Billy Boy
by the
Crypto just gave an ice cream, and Hextoshi just gifted another sub. My goodness, my friend.
Remember to pick the names, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have to pay the compliment of this community in general. I've never run across, other than maybe the concentration in Silicon Valley in general, because a lot of people get attracted there to chase their dream, and they leave, their home country, they leave their, their home environment and culture and bubble, and they want to chase something, and they're looking usually for VC money or something like that. So they migrate to try and find opportunity. And out of all the crypto spaces, I haven't seen the concentration of actual entrepreneurs that were already building something or already self-employed or they were already doing something as I have in Hex. I haven't seen that concentration of population. There's lots and lots of coins out there. There's lots of things to trade. Just because you have a YouTube channel and you talk about your trades publicly and you sell admission to a room, that's not the same to me. What I'm talking about is people that, they run, a graphics business. I don't know what A-Bit Hex does, but he obviously has graphics talent, and he obviously knows influence and comedy and things like that to build into his imagery. Randy obviously is a copywriter, and he understands how, the power of word and the pen. RG3's got just this breadth of experience, and he's running a podcast, and he's doing all kinds of things that are not just paying his bills of the day job, but, these are ventures. I don't know Liberty that much. I know he makes commentary, but I assume that he's like a NSA or some kind of FBI or, maybe something that's basically just spying on all of us. Liberty usually tells me that you're a spy. But anyways, Kinetics, I mean, I'm just trying to compliment the fact that this concentration of entrepreneurs that run their own business and kind of wear on their shoulders that responsibility instead of saying, I'm willing to do this thing because someone else is paying me X dollars. And if they're paying me X dollars as my employer, my employer is deciding the house that I live in, the school that my kids go to, the food that I eat, the vacation that I take, what is my coverage in medicine. I mean, you're letting an employer decide what life you live. And I think it's a real compliment to people like Randy that, wears that on his shoulders and makes that decision for himself and his family. Really cool. I haven't seen that anywhere else.
Agreed.
I love this community. This community is amazing. All the projects I've ever been part of, this is the only one I've actually enjoyed being part of.
Really?
Most of them, you go into the Telegram, you're like, oh, fuck this.
You haven't been, you haven't been to Beanland, baby.
Yeah, you haven't been to Bean Boys. You haven't been a Bean Boy, bro. You haven't been a Bean Boy.
Until they had the bean dip.
Oh my God.
Genetics. We gotta talk about a few things. We got to get the 1 million Hex qualifier tonight.
Yep.
So we got to get that taken care of.
Absolutely. And give me Liberty or I love it. You should have said that out loud. You said, I love this. I'm what is that? But I'm a spy on TV, he says. So.
Someone called me a finance guy, and I was like, but I'm a spy on TV.
Yeah, that's right. Oh.
Well, it's like that thing that we hear all the time. We hear
TV. Oh, wait, no, that's Hexo. My bad.
Well, it's that thing you hear all the time, like the Federal Reserve note, like that story everybody tells. It's not federal. It's not a reserve. It's a corporation. Right. It's a note. A note is a debt instrument. So it's kind of like, whenever I see people, I mean, I have no offense on Liberty, but whenever I see people that have that thing, like they're broadcasting, I'm like, yeah, you're a spy.
I'm watching you, Gary.
Brazology. This is for Hexo. Brazology says, beam me up, Hexo. So Hextoshi just donated a diamond. Man, you're welcome, Hexagon. We should be at 1,000. That's right. Listen to Hextoshi. We should be at 1,000 already. We're at 508, so we're definitely going up, but we can't give all this Hex away until we reach 1,000. So you guys got to keep throwing up the follows and Dlive follow.
If anybody's on my channel, and if anybody's on my channel and you help me remind myself to promote little Discourse Syndicate over here. I've got I need to start shilling it more because I always forget that you guys have, that you're giving. I thought you guys had 900 people. I was like, oh, they'll get to 1,000 in a week or something. I didn't realize how many you guys had.
So I was on the
By the
stream
way.
with, is it Dave OG3? I really don't know how to say his screen
Day
name.
43, yeah. OG.
Day 43. So him and I say Pissract, but I don't know if that's him either. What is it? Is it Pyract or whatever? He's the other Australian guy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't think he liked that when he was called that. So
But it
I'm not
looks like
sure.
Pissract. When I'm trying to read it on screen, it's like
Well, that's what it says. I'm sorry. The PI and then 5S. It just sounds like piss wreck.
So they were going to say that they were going to do more regularly their own broadcasts. And I was saying, I commented, obviously, that the Discourse Syndicate has their promotion thing, and they were talking about that same thing. I was trying to think about the gaming of like the likes and the bell and the subscription and everything that people do on YouTube or whatever, or on Dlive or any of these platforms to compel the algorithm. And if you're going to do, quote unquote, a giveaway, you guys have ideas, then just kind of throw the ideas out there. I know that the way that the RG3 is framing this giveaway to be 1,000 and so forth. But I was trying to say something like, if you said you're going to put 100 hex into a pot for every like, right, or whatever it might be, and on every episode, when you see those likes, and you say, okay, the episode before had 500 likes. Well, they have to have their own account unless they have multiple YouTube accounts, right? But they have to have their own account. They can only like it or unlike it by clicking that same button. But if it has that amount of likes, then it compels the algorithm to show that to other people that are looking at crypto kinds of stuff, maybe.
So I have the only problem that I would say with the giveaways on crypto. Dlive seems like it'd be fine, but on YouTube, I think that's why they're doing the fake giveaways, is so they can blanket ban anybody that's doing any kind of giveaway. Especially with cryptos on YouTube. So I would just be careful. Like, cause I was doing giveaways. I don't know why I got banned. I still don't know why. I have some suspicions, but it could have been because of my giveaways, because I was doing giveaways all the time. I was giving away, hundreds. I gave away probably $1,000 worth of hex.
Well, what about this? Is it a giveaway if Hexologist, I'm not saying that you need to dilute your brand, but is it a giveaway if you say, hey, for every, again, almost like if you promote the Discourse Syndicate channel's giveaway, does that absolve you of a giveaway if you're talking about somebody else on Dlive's giveaway? Is there
I'm fine with doing it on Dlive. Dlive seems pretty chill. I just don't want somebody to get kicked off of YouTube is the thing. YouTube seems like they just want to crack down on anybody, and especially anybody trying to give away any sort of crypto.
Yeah, I mean, I have across all social media, I have Funding Gem, all of the different accounts, but I only talk about credit, I only talk about finance and shit like that over there. And in the background, I'll have hex images, or in the background of a display, I'll say, this is a crypto thing, but I'm not really a crypto channel on that channel. And then the Gifting You Hex is my more in the risk profile of getting shut down eventually.
Right. Yeah.
The memes and all the other kinds of stuff like that. So I'm just curious about like our strategy going into the next 18 months. Do you realize we've been doing this stuff for like 18 months or longer? Everybody in this room has been before the launch. Way before the launch.
Yeah. Well,
I was about 3 weeks before the launch. The first time I saw a video.
Oh, okay.
I've been waiting since 2018 when CFD token was being talked about.
Yeah, I was about to call Randy a noob, but I never heard about the fluid dynamics coin until after hearing about Hex. But yeah.
Did you guys see that? Did you guys see the professor that came on on? It looks like Liberty over there. It looks kind of. He kind of does. Hey, what the heck? Maybe it's him. He's in
Dr. David.
He's a rocket scientist over here.
I was just looking at it the other day. Yeah.
Let me tell you what with the rockets.
All right, check it out. What's in the treasure chest, Kinetics?
All right.
I can't add to it from my phone, so.
I don't know what we've got in there. It doesn't tell me how much is in the chest.
You should be able to see it.
I can't see how much is in the chest.
No?
Nope. The chest doesn't tell me anything. So, but I mean, you can see how much was donated.
Well, No, I'm gonna. Well, what I have to do is I have to sign off in order to
Oh,
go on the
jeez.
Dlive
Here we
on the
go.
phone. And-
Here we go with the
and,
boomer talk. over there. Let me get the dial-up internet cord.
No, I promise,
I
Grandma,
would have loved to see the
Grandma,
two of you
Grandma, I promise you can text while you're still on the phone.
Let me hang up the phone.
Yeah, no, Grandma, don't hang up. You can still text.
Meatloaf. Mom, where's the meatloaf?
pick 3 kinetics for.
All right, you guys start spamming up the chat bar here, guys. I need some comments. Time for the comments, guys, so we can do some picks. I need this to be scrolling so I can randomly pick one. Come on, guys, spam it up. Let's hear some comments. No, not gifts, not bouncing kitties.
Oh, but she's special though. Come on.
Oh, jeez. That's all that gets my freaking chat, man. It's just like that. Into the fire, especially. He loves that. He loves it.
Superhex.win. He is where my finger landed. Keep going, guys. Keep going. Terry B Hex.
Man, he's got him a few, I think.
Get my
Does he?
second best friend. Children of the Grave.
Man, it's streaming so fast. I can see it.
And AJ Create. Oh my goodness, it was hard. Like, you gotta look right as I touch the screen.
Bunga bunga.
Right on.
Bunga bunga.
And I'm gonna go give away the treasure too.
There we go. All right, Grandma, we'll see you in a little bit.
It looks like the price is going up again. We're at 0.00326.
Yes.
Really?
We'll take it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, I think like I was expecting it to pump pretty hard. Actually, I was like, "Oh, they're giving away free money. That's gotta like pump into Hex real." But maybe in the long run, I don't know.
Do you think that it's honest about what's reported? Because I put a shitload in. I know a lot of other people put a shitload in. I don't know if the number we're talking about what actually was converted from Uni direct into Hex. Do you think that that's reflecting real numbers of what we see on Hex Live?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, man, it's got to be pumping it up way faster than this because I know
of the first 12 hours, I was like, there's something wrong here.
Yeah. But maybe people are, because I know I did, and I know there's a couple other people, but maybe it's just not moving it as much as we thought it would. But I mean, there's only 8,391 Ethereum in there. And I know I could have put a pretty good chunk in there. I did put a pretty good chunk in there of to buy some Hex. I mean, not to move the price that much, but like that 8,391 is not that much.
There's nothing different about how it reports or anything like that on Hex Live. If it's direct Uni into wrapped Ethereum into Hex, that's what happens.
That's the thing is I'm trying to look at the wrapped Ethereum. I'm in the pools right now trying to look at the wrapped Ethereum Hex.
Pair.
And the pair. But it's not even showing. It won't even show me that even exists. Just the Hex ETH pair.
I don't know where you guys seen the wrapped.
So whenever
what it says it routes through.
I'm thinking that our metrics might be not reflecting correctly. I'm not really sure. It would take like Firebun and stuff to tell me. But when you go direct from Uni into Hex,
it does it from wrapped.
There's not a pair, and since there's not a pair, then it goes to wrapped, and then it goes and it switches over. But other people were saying that they were going, they got to pay 2 transaction costs if they go directly to
from Ethereum,
and then from ETH into Hex. Right. And is that reflecting on the Hex Live? And is that reflecting on CoinGecko? And is that reflecting on the volume trades?
That makes sense. Yeah, I never even thought about that. That's good analysis. I because that's how I did mine. Is it was wrapped Ethereum. I didn't even realize that it would be wrapped.
Yeah, the same thing with me. I put what is it, like 12 grand or something like that into, and it went that process.
Yeah.
I did feel that way. I thought that was part of the problem why my transaction wasn't going through. So I sold the ETH first and paid the extra transaction fees.
Dude, that's crazy. Because it was like $50. And you know what the worst thing is unlocking the effing wallet. Dude, the other night I had $12 in my. It was like $9, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna sell a little bit of Hex to get enough for Ethereum so I can claim these damn tokens. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting ready to do it, and I have to unlock the freaking wallet, and it's like $12, and I was just like,
just to unlock
I was like, I can't even sell these. Like, I have to pay $10 to unlock the wallet to then sell and then be able, or it was just like, what I like that kind of pissed me off that you have to do. And I'm pretty sure that I've used the wallet multiple times to do this, so I don't know why I have to unlock it on multiple things, but that pissed me off. What's up, Bally Brand?
What's up, man?
Absolutely.
Good
What's up,
to see
Brand?
you, Axo. Good to see you.
The supporter of all things Hex and all the channels involved. We love it. Love having you on here, El Hexican.
You know what? I actually I got my Hex toy hat in the other room. Let me actually go get that.
Snap!
Yeah, you
By the
better.
way,
You don't get back on until you have it.
Kinetics, you know what this is?
The come and go? Oh, absolutely.
Dude, everybody from Idaho thinks I'm disgusting. This is a gas station in Colorado, guys.
Colorado.
I'm not even lying.
Utah.
I drove into Colorado. I was like, what kind of freaking place is this? And they're everywhere, dude. They're like chevrons there. I was like, this is disgusting.
You know what that was?
And so I bought a huge mug. I was like,
It used to be a truck stop, right? It started as a truck stop.
Oh, okay.
It was named that for a reason.
Well, another reason is because it was when America was wholesome, or whatever. It's like, there wasn't wet ass pussy songs playing on the radio.
That's disgusting.
And so this is like I like how, look at their slogan though, where the and means more. It's come and go. Like, what does that mean? It's very ominous. I feel like where the and means more. Is that like what is it? Come and go? Like what does that mean?
By the way, just for all of you guys that have never been to the come and go, that's bull sperm. That's bull sperm inside of that big old jug that he's sipping on. So.
No, this guy is dedicated. I mean, who has like a jerry can, like a 5-gallon jug?
Dude, I'm fasting 24 hours a day. I gotta fill my stomach up with something, man. I'm like over here like chugging water all day, like just super hungry.
You need that camel pack, whatever. Just have
I should.
So I pull up a veterinarian with a bowl.
How much liquid was that?
Get Randy off the stream, guys. Get Randy off the stream.
Hey, we're back on YouTube again, Randy. Sorry, you gotta go.
Is there going to be a big
that was
on 300, or is that not a thing? I don't know if it was a thing or not a thing anymore. It's like 7 days away, day 300.
Oh, we're what, 8 days away?
7 or 8 days. I'm gonna do a stream with Richard Hart on that day. I don't know what.
Okay, is that the next plan thing? Is that basically it's not going to be like a record-setting overnight stream. It's just going to be a stream, right?
Yeah, that's just a it's just a regular.
Its current day is 292. So
is there any 24-hour like
Big payday. We're gonna do a 24-hour stream. We haven't really, like we said last time, we were wondering about 12 hours before or 12 hours after, or we haven't figured that out yet. But on the big payday, just if everybody's here, be ready for a 24-hour stream. Get your sleep in. Maybe take the days off or whatever you got to do.
What do you think the best use? I'm not volunteering anybody else's money, but what do you think the best use is if I have one of these wallets to promote the Hex community? I have a wallet I haven't claimed yet on the Uni. Should I just like do the normal selfish thing and put that into a long stake and just broadcast that got staked 15 years? Or is that something that can be like on day 300 or 360, 351 or whatever? What do you guys think about like the marketing element of what we're doing? How that money could be spent? Because that's, what is it, 400 tokens? I think that's like $2,500 or something now.
Yeah, $6.50 per one.
There's still no way to transfer a staked. There's no way to transfer a stake.
No. You could start up a wallet and we could give away the keys, but then somebody would know their keys and somebody could just not get, you know what I mean? Like it would have to be in somebody that's trusted, they're not going to keep the keys for themselves and like jack the wallet for them. And the person who's getting it has to be trusting that person doesn't have the keys either. So
I don't want to over speculate, but I'm familiar enough with what a blind trust is. Do you guys know what a blind trust is? Have you heard of a blind trust?
I know what a trust is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a blind trust is usually in politics when you have to be divested or you have to be blind. And if you're blind, then basically it is lawyer pool. And the lawyer, usually want to choose a firm that's big enough in reputation and suable for breaking the trust and working against your intention. I speculate that Richard doesn't have control over OA. I speculate. And I know that everybody in the world likes to say that he does, but I speculate that his gaming mentality for years and years planned for this whole process that's been going on. And I speculate that there's a blind trust that probably has mechanisms. When this happens and it's through an oracle or something as a provable event, then this other thing happens, almost like mousetrap. So I wonder, I'm not going to pay for like lawyers. I don't want to do all the stuff as far as the lawyer stuff, as far as a giveaway. But I wonder if there's something along those lines, because the entity can hold the stake. And if you set it up in a correct way through a legal firm that has enough suable things at risk, then they can't break the trust, the blinded trust. That's why you see, like, if someone's going to run for president and they say, oh, your company still has this influence. Well, I didn't know anything about it. I had ownership, but I have no direct control contract. And I suspect that Richard has that set up as far as his position. But I'm also curious about how to market things. Huh?
It'd be wise if he did it that way.
Yeah, I think it's a legacy thing. I think it's, nobody hears from Satoshi, and maybe he could have done something as a person, but it would be great if he had the wisdom to have set up a trust that could still broadcast the best interest of Bitcoin. And I think that Richard probably recognizes that. He comments about that kind of stuff years before this ever happened. And I think to have, dead man switches and to have basically, a blind trust is probably the OA.
Yeah, I think that as well. Like, I forgot what I was going to say. Dang it. I had something real smart to say too. That was so good. Thanks. Thank you. I was about to blow you guys out of the water. I'm just going to keep it for myself right now, though.
That's bean dip right there.
Thank you. Yeah. Bean dip.
Bean dip.
You guys remember, everybody in here is kind of old. Well, you're kind of a young guy. Belly Brand, what is it? What is he? You're like 34? How old are you?
24 next month, October 24th.
You never heard of Little Pink Houses? You never heard of Little Pink Houses. Anybody else here remember John Mellencamp and MTV giving away a Little Pink House?
No.
Oh, I am the old fucker.
You're that guy.
I'm old enough, but we were evangelicals, so we didn't have.
Oh, okay. Well, MTV had giveaways when they first started, and they're trying to popularize their music channel back when it was music. And they had two big giveaways. One giveaway was because this singer called John Cougar Mellencamp, he later changed his name, and he had a lot of popular songs in the 80s. And he had a song that was called Little Pink Houses for You and Me, or something like that. And so MTV bought a house like in Kansas or something like that and did like this promotion. And if you won this house. And it was painted pink. And then they did a different one, different year, which was every single Corvette every year, like the 1953 all the way to like 1985, whenever they did it. So somebody won like 40 Corvettes. It was crazy.
So this is where MTV got their reality start, son of.
That's their beginning.
This is how they ruined their entire channel.
Yeah, well, this was the origin of their channel. It's like in the first year of MTV. Yeah.
So I remember what I was gonna say now. So I think that Richard, whoever put the coin fabric, all of the what's it called? The audits. Excuse me, I couldn't think of the word. The audits out there. I don't think Richard Hart probably paid for the audits. I think that he probably got them funded by somebody who made up probably those trusts that you're talking about, or they probably own part of the OA as well. Him, the developers of the code, and like that's why you get this angry developer that's going around and talking trash because he's not part of the OA. He got kicked off of the OA, and now he sees all of his friends have millions of dollars probably at this point, and so yeah, I think that the OA is not just one person; it's multiple people. It's probably developers. It's probably whoever put up those audits. It's whoever funded Richard Hart's project before, or the product Hex before it actually was complete.
Well,
absolutely.
I believe it's not any individual. I believe it's entity, and I believe it's a legal firm. And I believe that maybe there's co-ownership, like an LLC or something like that have a stake, and maybe they got paid in a crypto. But I don't believe that it's direct response, because if he ever goes in front of a government authority for any reason, he needs to have that non-liability and non-culpability truth.
Well, I'm just Crypto Vince and Motley. You guys, do you think that he paid for the audits himself? But I think he said that they were about $100,000 a piece. So that's about $300,000.
I don't think he wrote a check. I don't think that he basically, he funded it, because that would have been proof of that would have been like a legal risk.
Yes, yeah, me too. He may have paid for them with a company or an LLC, like he might have funded it, but I don't think that he paid for him like himself as Richard Hart.
No way.
As himself.
Well, who knows? Maybe he did.
Maybe
the
he did.
only thing we can do right now is speculate. But we have one really interesting thing. I talked about that today on my stream. All the articles we read are from people outside of Hex, right? But we have this one guy who was a former developer, like this Kirin guy. He made an interview with Naomi Brockwell, was her name, like 9 months ago. You guys know her, the girl with the red hair. And he actually was in the Hex project. Like 1 year before the Hex project started, was done, he dropped out of the project. So he wasn't developing anymore. And I think now he's like talking smack about Hex. Anyways, when they started their interview, the developer said Richard Hart was kind of an figurehead of this project. Mm-hmm. And the words kind of and figurehead tells me that there are several figureheads, but Richard Hart was one of them. Mm-hmm. And this just tells me, like you guys said, there are several entities, probably got a lot of Hex. And isn't it that the OA sent Hex to several accounts and they staked for like 10 years or so?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who's the guy in the UK? Conrad?
Yeah, Conrad Zen.
Conrad, I speculate that he might be one of the...
Might be one of the guys.
Yeah,
maybe. So I know that I see, like a lot of people read and he does really good about controlling his face and his emotion, unless he's really pissed. And I see when people, I think there was a stream where someone said something about OA money moving from one place to another. And it was like 30 grand or 50 grand or to pay for something small. And I don't think Richard did that. I think somebody else inside that consortium did it, and he was probably pissed, caught off a little bit guard. I just read the the frustration factors, and he's probably pissed at other people that there are some level of OA. Like, what the fuck? Like, we had this agreement. Now I've got to get law involved with our.
Well, yeah, because right at the first you could hear it, because every time he talked to anybody, he was like, "Well, go and see if any of it has moved. None of the Ethereum has moved." And then it started moving, and then it's like, "Well, shit, now I can't say that anymore. Now I gotta like."
So he said it with confidence until he's like, fuck. One of the assholes in the group moved the money.
So Franklin, you're correct. He says, I don't think any other guys part of the OA are outspoken. I'm sure they're all obligated legally by a non-disclosure. So there's probably an NDA signed between them.
It could be one of us guys. Oh. Ever thought about that? Any guys that
I can neither
tell me.
I can neither confirm nor deny. So
yeah, exactly.
It's interesting. I mean, and it's interesting game game theories and all these other things. But again, I don't really care about the OA, what they do or don't. I think that they're benevolent in general. They're positive in general. They're probably held to a contract to be benevolent. And I think that there's probably a lot of dead man switches and blind trust kind of mechanisms that are in there. So I really am happy that they're in OA. I think that also a lot of people still don't recognize probably the biggest economic mass of this uni that has a potential to claim is OA. It originally in the liquidity for the first 4 months or 5 months was basically one address that was an OA liquidity provider. I assume OA, but it was somebody that had a shitload of HEX and a shitload of balance Ethereum. And then that became like hundreds of addresses that I think if you probably did the chain analysis, you would see that it probably came back to the same OA that just split into hundreds of addresses. And you were rewarded not just based on the fact that you did an attempt or you completed a trade on Uni for your 400. Even if you failed a transaction, there was 12,000 addresses that got free claim ability. So even if they didn't succeed in it, then they still got free claim. And then you also got a ratio percentage based on how much liquidity you provided and for how long. And if they're looking at the entire snapshot of the existence from the origin of Uni until recently, I think a huge volume of that, if not a majority of that, is HEX based and probably OA claim ability. So we haven't seen the last of this economic pendulum movement. I don't know if Richard and others are thinking about what they will do, but it's very, very interesting to see it play out.
Well, could you imagine when, like, if no forward-looking statements, but what happens if they came out with a margin trading platform and then he sells that Uni tokens and then you margin a huge longs with all these Uni tokens that you just sell? I mean, it would be astronomical for the price. Like, not only do you sell the Uni tokens, but then you do all of those Uni tokens that the OE has. He does it margin long off of all of it. I mean, that would make the price just skyrocket.
Yeah.
No forward-looking statements. I have no idea what will happen, but man, that would be crazy if something like that happened.
Well, I think the people that have the knowledge of how these platforms work, how margins work, how oscillating coins work. I mean, all these things. I mean, he always comes through as an expert, right?
Yeah. Is there a cutoff for when you can claim, or does it go on continuously?
Who's laughing? Where are you guys laughing?
Freaking Liberty in the chat, man. He's cracking me up.
I haven't been looking at it.
Oh, they're calling me the beanologist, and they said fight one bean, you have to fight the whole burrito.
That's actually really good. I like that.
Comingologist.
Yeah, it's
Comingologist.
Hey, you guys better leave me alone.
Comologist.
I don't know. If you have your appointment
Gary.
with your cum bucket there with you. That's a weird appointment to go to.
But let's talk about HEX, boys and girls.
Hey, Hexologist. How much
man?
are you drinking? How much are you drinking per day? How much water?
Water.
One of those? Or more than one, or?
Just this is like 100 ounces, so whatever that is,
Okay.
probably like
Times
1.5
three.
of these.
Less than a gallon.
Like a little bit more than a gallon. Like I think 140 or something like that is like a gallon. Right?
120 is a
128. Yeah, so I drink like 1.5 of these. So it's like 150.
Okay, nice, dude. Nice, man.
Got good kidneys.
Well, dude, like not eating. Oh, dude, it keeps me up all night. I pee straight. Like, I mean, I could just pee right into this bad boy and drink it back up. It's not yellow.
Recycling the HEX. Are you recycling?
Where does the piss go?
Only meaning to recycling.
Where does the piss go? Actually, that's
You
be a
guys are
thumbnail.
funny,
Where's
dude.
the piss go?
I love Crypto Vince. He says this has become the Seaman Syndicate.
I guess
Bunch
so.
of Navy guys.
Hey, has the Kraken been given out yet?
No, he still hasn't given it out.
Fucking-
Oh yeah,
He
you're
said
in
that
point. You're
Wednesday
in point.
too.
Grandma
real
couldn't
thing.
figure it out.
I'm the
The
Kraken
rents do.
cop, man.
Yeah, where'd he go?
The rent's
I don't know.
The rents too. Yeah, I need to get my 5 rents.
RG3?
I'll gladly pay you
RG3 is on
Tuesday.
Twitter right now giving a bunch of people shit because my phone keeps popping up with what the fuck.
Yeah, the last show he said he's gonna roll it over, didn't he? Now he's rolling it over again.
He can't roll it over any longer. He's gonna lose it if he doesn't do it tonight, right?
I think it's Sunday.
Sunday. Okay.
Do you actually lose it if you don't release it?
So somebody said that you do, yeah.
Dude, that would suck,
Is
man.
that a ledger in your pocket?
A ledger in your pocket. Said every
That's a
says
treasure.
every
That's a
security guard at
treasure.
the airport
That's a
in
treasure, bro.
Australia. Is that a ledger in your pocket?
Oi! We don't talk about the OA. We are talking UA. Yeah, exactly.
What do you think about the Staker app? How that might work? I was thinking also, like I said, about if you're trying to transfer staked hex instead of transfer hex, you could actually probably. I mean, again, I'm speculating. Is it going to be a fiat on ramp into Staker app? Do you think that that's what they're? Because I know they were going to have a premium thing. Do you think that they're going to be able to buy hex into the Staker app?
Not
the banking thing is so super hard to get. Like a
in the future, yes, but you have to get like a money dealer's license, and you have to follow other regulations. Even if it's a different company that's processing like Simplex does all the processing for almost all the platforms that you can buy crypto with. And you still have to, if it's going to be tied to your project, I don't know. I really don't know all the intricacies to it, but I know that at this point in time, it's not something that's viable to be, because it would push back the release of this Staker app probably a year or two to get all the right licenses and things that would be needed for that. So, and maybe I'm talking out of my ass, but I know that we've talked about it in the past, and it's not something that's really viable if we want an operating product to be released soon.
So legally, again, KYC, they would have to give up their KYC, but legally, from what I speculate, again, my dad was a lawyer, but I don't really know all the details of all this stuff. I'm not a lawyer or anything. You can, when they do a giveaway on, let me think about this. You can, when someone is going to get an inheritance and they might have some kind of weird rule in there, like the person has to be married or they have to have, reach a certain age or whatever in order to get that money. There are ways that you can structure it that you can do a donation in dollar amount. It's not really a donation if there's strings attached, but there's a strings attached clause. And the string attached clause could be that the giveaway is to fund a 15-year stake or whatever you want to promote. Do you think that has any value marketing wise as a giveaway? Because it's kind of like that bond thing. If you buy a U.S. savings bond for $1,000 and it's going to be worth $10,000 in the future because of the mechanism of a savings bond, you can cash it out early, but you don't get that $10,000, right? Because it hasn't had the time staked. What do you think? Anything like that's worth marketing?
Yeah, I think so. With like I think it would have to be on like a ledger, and then you would have to. If you were to do that, Gary, going back to Hexo's point, that you would have to be the only one that ever saw the seed phrase when you set it up, and then you could physically mail off the Trezor or the ledger to somebody, and it would be on your shoulders at that point in time to not make an extra copy of the seed phrase sometime and jack their funds before the 15
and hope that they don't accidentally lose it and give it to somebody else, and then it gets stolen from them, and then they try to blame it on you that you stole it.
Yeah,
exactly. In 5 years, they're like, "Oh, you stole it because I was dumb and I gave the and it's like, I didn't." And it's just like, I wouldn't want to mess with it if some, I wouldn't.
That's a good point.
How do multi-sig work? How do corporations handle these things? We have Quadriga supposedly, but this dude is still alive somewhere. But I'm just saying, how do multi-sig work in a legal fashion? Is that why big corporations stay away from the industry?
Maybe.
I was talking to Cindy Zimmerman of KeyFi. the other day about, because I got my project coming up and we wanted to figure out how to do the multi-sig. She goes, no, don't do multi-sig. There's better, she can't, something with fire in it, the name fire or something. She goes, multi-sig's old, we don't use that anymore. So she said there's a new, way better system. But I wanted to say about the little key fobs, when I was with library, I helped the library team over the last 6 months. We were giving away 100,000 library tokens to people who were, very supportive of library, and we sent them like a gift package and a hat, a T-shirt, and they got a little USB stick, and it had 100,000 library on it, and it was time locked. So it wasn't automatically staked, but it was time locked. So
Right.
instead of doing the stake part, it'd be a lot easier just to give them the crypto on a stick or something like that.
Yeah, but I like the idea.
For them to move it, right? Is that what you're saying? You tell them just move it on your own or something, because you still have access. If you were able to put it on, you were able to take it off.
Yeah, I don't know how the library team did it. They're a lot smarter than me. They're technical people. I'm getting tired, guys. But it was time locked. They couldn't do anything with it for a year.
Interesting.
I mean, we could just watch the wallet and make them stake it on stream. Just we're gonna give away, but you have to get on the stream, and we're gonna watch your ass stake it for 15 years on stream. I mean, that's probably the best way that you could do it.
How bad do you want this money?
Yeah, send them HEX, send them some Ethereum, and then do it on stream that you're gonna do 15 years, because they ain't gonna emergency unstake it, because then they're just gonna wreck themselves. So that's the only thing that I could say is like sending it to them, and maybe trust that they just stake it for 15 years. I don't know. That's about the only.
What do you think about we've talked about this maybe in the past, at least I've thought about it a lot, is this quadratic funding that Vitalik talks about sometimes, about if there was something that when you put in HEX tokens as a like your vote, you make a vote, and the vote is because you're putting tokens into a common pot, but that common pot can go to like the superstars of promoting the community or promoting the project or the product, whatever. So, Richard would be ruled out, even though he spends hundreds of hours, promoting in different ways. And it shouldn't only be like, YouTube influencers or something like that, but basically it would be like everybody that has, skin in the game of their time, energy, and so forth. It's almost like an Oscars or something. Like, they make votes, right? I was trying to think about something along those lines.
That's kind of what Uni did. Uni just did that for all the people that provided the liquidity. So the more liquidity you provided, you got more coins.
Right. Yeah. So again, that was a ratio of a certain pool, but that was put in, it's magically created because a coin didn't exist a month ago, and now it does.
I wonder if you could do some kind of like an airdrop to everybody that's staked.
Yeah,
like
you
that.
can do that just by unstaking the OA. So we talked about that a lot.
Oh yeah, so that was again. So to go through that, so you think at the last minute, I know that other people have commented about this on streams. So you think that it's actually beneficial if the OA staked and then unstaked, because they don't have a net loss, and they basically are airdropping to all of the staking pools.
Well, they do have a net loss. They lose 50%.
Well, the OA does, but it gets 50. It gets half.
It gets the other. Yeah, but then but the loss would be giving to half of that to the other people.
Right.
So if they kept doing that, it would eventually. I mean, it would dwindle.
Their percentage of the.
I honestly hope that the OA keeps all of it, dude. If it has 80%, I don't really care. As long as it's not dumping on us, who cares? Like,
and even
they have a huge bag of Ethereum. They have.
Let's do the worst case scenario. So what's the absolute worst case scenario? The OA dumps it to zero. Well, now it's super cheap, and the community can pick it up for next to nothing. And you don't ever have to worry about that mechanism ever again.
True.
And what would you say again? So if it what?
Let's just say it dumped everything to zero. If it dumped all of its holdings, that's the worst case scenario, right? Your crypto project goes down sub 1 Satoshi, right? Well, then the community swoops in and buys it all back, and now the OA has no HEX. And we all, as a community, it's more distributed than ever. And the code continues to work immutably forever and ever again.
So it's the 3 days before resurrection kind of test. It's like, oh, the Savior died, and what are we going to do now? And then that's what you're saying. You're like, test the faith of the religion.
Yeah, right.
I
Well,
don't think that'll ever happen. I think that
I don't think
it's
so either.
stay benevolent, and I don't
That'll
think
never happen.
I mean, if you had let's say, how much do you think that he got in Ethereum? Let's just say the OA is Richard Hart. You know, this is all speculative. I don't think it is actually him, but let's just say it's one entity, and he got every single Ethereum that's been put into the OA or the AA since day one. He probably has millions of Ethereum. Like, I don't know how many millions, because I don't even know exactly, but let's say he's gotten $30 million to $40 million. He's not going to sell his HEX and kill his project. He's gonna he's gonna keep that HEX, and maybe he sells a little bit off now and then, but really he's got $50 million worth of Ethereum. Like, why would he even mess with the price when he could make not millions of dollars off of the HEX, but by selling it, he could make billions of dollars if he just holds the HEX for years. You know, he doesn't even have to stake the HEX at this point, where he could be making billions because he has a crazy amount, which I think probably in one day.
It's not in a position that it's worthwhile to do anything that would harm the valuation at all.
Exactly. Doesn't make sense
for reason whatsoever. Even for if it's a consortium of OA, there's no reason whatsoever. And I think that he has a lot of legal clauses, but they would sue the shit out of the people that would mess with harm the project anyway of the OA if they were OA.
Most likely, yeah.
But yeah, I'm curious about like the locking mechanism. I'm just trying to think of different things that are like marketing tools, more than just individuals or more than individual channels. I'm just trying to think about things that are marketing. He obviously knows a lot of marketing stuff. I would like to hear it, even though I think he's kind of muzzled on what he can and can't say just legally.
Well, I think that's why that hexshirt.com isn't open up yet, is because he can't even take the risk of people thinking that he's taking the profits of the shirts getting sold and putting it into the AA. Like, oh, you're selling these to put it into the A, because I think that's like you can't like take money and, you know, say if you buy this shirt, I'm going to put it into the project, because then it's something to do with the SEC. I can't remember, but I saw somebody doing a HEX clone, and they were selling shirts so they can get funding for the HEX clone. And he was like, well, there's an SEC conundrum right there, when they're making fun of HEX, but they're actually breaking the rules.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think he knows OPSEC enough. He knows legal stuff enough. He's got opinion papers and things like that, I'm sure, in multiple jurisdictions. And I think that there's certain things that he can do that are like participating. Like, I know I was involved in another project, and it is when the CEO of a company that has a coin is in the community chat room, that's not the official chat room, and makes commentary, that's a legal veil piercing. You're piercing that by participating in that. So as much liberty as Richard has, even in rooms that he generates, it's not an official company room, but it's still his room. He's the ultimate admin to things. And the liberties that he is able to take makes me say that at least he's very blind trusted and insulated, or he really doesn't have any control, that in a legal test would come to truth that he doesn't. So I think that there's probably mechanisms, and then I think that there's probably mousetrap kind of levers that when this happens in an oracle that's trusted, then this happens, this other thing happens, if then clauses, especially if you're a programmer. I mean, all that stuff is built on, if then else.
Hey, let me. I want to break down some math really quick. I just going through this. My guess is that the OA, not the OA, but the AA has brought in about 50 million so far. And if Ethereum's at 350, so that's about right around 140,000 Ethereum, and that's not a shit ton of Ethereum. But with the price right now, that's phenomenal. And imagine if the price goes back to 1,000. So now you're looking at 160 million is what they have just from the lobby. And then they've been recycling, which I have no problem with. People accuse them of doing that. I don't think that's just smart business in my book. So what percentage of that has been recycled? So they could just keep using the same 5,000 over and over again, right? So I have no problem with any of this.
Yeah.
And it just benefits us.
Yeah, I whether it is or whether it isn't doesn't make a difference to the price mechanism, and it doesn't. I mean, it just changes the psychology of who's going to say, well, I don't want to go to California because they have earthquakes. There's a lot of reasons not to go to California, but some of this stuff gets, I don't know, your risk perception is different,
Yeah. Yeah, like at first I think that I was pretty worried that it was being recycled, but then it was just like, well, it is exactly the pricing like 32 from the Uniswap price, which is actually price discovered. So it's like that's where the price discovery is, and it's just matching that. And maybe it's nothing more than a bot that is doing it, that's matching it, because it really does seem like it's just like boom, it's in there. Like nobody, it doesn't seem like that could be a person that a smart contract that's like, okay, it sees what the price of the Uniswap is, it sees what price the AA is, and it's just automatically smart. You can build a smart contract on top of Hex to already do that, and so why wouldn't and who knows? It might not even be the origin after us doing it. Maybe it's somebody else. But
I have a question for you. If you're producing a good, shouldn't you be able to set the price? How much you're selling this good? If I'm selling a car, shouldn't I be able to say at what price I'm selling this car?
Sure.
And isn't it the same with the OA or with the AA? I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what
the price is set on. The price is set on Uniswap anyways, so the AA is just a mechanism to give out coins.
True. Yeah, that's true.
Hey guys, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna head out. My back's really bothering me.
Randy.
All right, Randy, it was good talking with you, buddy. Mr. Vode, hey, it's a pleasure to have you on here, buddy.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, man, you're very active in the chats. Great resource in Telegram. Super helpful for anyone who needs any kind of support. Glad to have you here, man.
Nice, thank you. It's good to see a face to the account.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I just don't want to break anyone's computer, so I just don't post my mug anywhere. So.
He posts his abs on every stream.
Right for that.
Yeah, maybe the abs. Maybe I'll show the abs. Yeah. So it's good to have you on here, buddy. So, Mr. Vode, where are you from?
I'm from Austria, actually.
Okay.
Well, good day, mate.
Austria, not Australia.
I know. It's off of Dumb and Dumber. It's the Dumb and Dumber.
That's right. It is off of Dumber.
Good day, mate.
Yeah.
Put another shrimp on the barbie.
He's talking about a pop culture movie in the U.S., Dumb and Dumber movie. And there's a
Oh, have you never seen it, Mr. Vode?
No, not that. I got a cool anecdote for that.
What's
that? I got family in Texas, Houston, and we went to the Hooters there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We know.
The waiter said when we said we came from Austria. She was like, "Oh yeah, kangaroos."
You're like, oh, jeez.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, what are your thoughts? You've been in the system for a while. I've seen you in the chat a lot as far as your title and such. I haven't seen you on screen before, but what are your thoughts about what has happened? Let's say a week ago, up until a week ago, what Hex's project launch, the phase up until a week ago. What do you think about Hex before a week ago?
What changed a week ago?
I'm just trying to get we can talk about the Uni thing in a different chapter, but what do you think before Uni?
Well, there were a lot of different phases actually. A lot of stuff happened. I remember some milestones obviously in February. I actually, when the whole FUD thing started, I think it was February, right?
Yeah, it was like February. Yeah, February, March. Yeah, I think it
was
February.
Actually kind of worried too, but it was like, I just stopped reading chat for a while, a little bit, because I thought, well, what's going on there? And then I realized, come on, man, this is just the typical FUD stuff, like it always happens.
Yeah.
And that the crypto tribalism really started to appear to me, how it is, you know?
Yeah.
And what I got from that was actually a lot, because you see that kind of stuff happening everywhere. Not just in crypto, but in crypto it's just so apparent, because there's no regulation and stuff like that. If you don't see that kind of stuff happening in markets that often, because if somebody if like an advisor talks like that, he's bound by law. He can't do that. And crypto is just freelance. You can just early invest in a project and be like talking up your bags, for example.
Yep,
and it's
I
just,
agree.
It's so close to a free market, closer to a free market than anything else. And so this stuff is going to be more apparent in general, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, that's great. That's a great point to point out there, that there are, because there's so few regulations yet to date in the crypto space, that it is truly a very laissez-faire as far as the markets operate. So I don't think you can find a freer market yet at this point in time, other than what you find in the crypto space. So there is true price discovery.
Which
Dude,
people
always with
hate
the
it.
brews, guys.
People hate it.
And when people always forget that, like, they confuse if something is manipulated, if a whale just pushes the price down, that's called manipulation. Let's just say it. But it's
If a whale buys,
it's still a free market, you know, because that's some person that makes a decision.
That's true.
Whether another person likes it or not, that has nothing to do whether it's a free market or not.
Yeah.
Well, it's gatekeeping. It's gatekeeping, or not gatekeeping, but it's manipulation when it's going down, and it's not manipulation when it's going up. When the whales are buying, it's not manipulation. So, right, like that's how it usually turns out to be.
well, it's interesting. He talks about February. We all know kind of what that event was and when that happened, because there's memes about it and so forth. But do you know that before, when AA launched in December, that was really the only path to get HEX. And then when Uni was seen as an arbitrage opportunity, and it became an arbitrage location, then people would buy on AA, and then they would sell for profit on Uni, right? Because there was more than one mechanism to access. And they were playing the time, they were playing the clock, and they were trying to speed it over as quickly as they could to make money. There's people that made significant money, I mean, really big money, just because they were playing arbitrage. And then, like you had said earlier, you know, if it's a bot by now, I think it's a bot that does the AA. If it's recycling, I don't think it's human being. You know, it's general participation from general public, and it's also a bot. But I think that it's actually triggered by what's happening on Uni, and it squashed a lot of the arbitrage. And then when that squash of arbitrage window or that margin changed and became balanced on both locations, that's when you saw FUD. That's when you saw people pissed off and making videos and stuff like that, because suddenly their cash cow of basically selling down the price of HEX no longer was available to them. So I think that it's interesting that with this Uni drop reclaim, all of this money that's come out is really because it was in my opinion, it was a response by OA or by Richard or whoever that we popularized Uni, you know? And everybody had wallets on Uni. Yeah.
You know, Mr. Vote, you were in HEX before HEX actually came out, right? You were in HEX when HEX, it's called actually HEX Bitcoin or something like this?
Yeah.
You were already in chat and stuff?
There was like 30 members, if I remember correctly.
So have you ever heard about something like Uniswap in these times? Because I don't think that HEX was designed with Uniswap in mind.
No,
Uniswap wasn't
Kyle
like until
actually
2
said
weeks
that
after.
they didn't discover the Uniswap and the automated market maker until it was the AA design and stuff was already finished or very close to being finished. And if they would have discovered it earlier, they would have used Uniswap for the distribution.
Okay.
Oh.
Or some system that uses Uniswap. And if they wouldn't have used it, that's my guess, they would have made sure you can't do the arbitrage thing, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Because it
I
breaks
think,
the ref links, yeah.
Exactly. The HEX referral link doesn't work anymore with Uniswap. The referral link only works if you have centralized exchanges like Bidesk and stuff like this. But Uniswap actually kills the referral link.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a pivot, and it kind of testimony to the leadership of a product or a product, the marketing element of the product. That was a pivot, and I don't think if you basically had completely, you can't. It's really hard to say you want something absolutely immutable that can't pivot, it can't change. Because I bitch about Bitcoin changing and the risk that it brings every time core code gets changed. Or I kind of bitch about Ethereum changing. I want the quality of silver or gold or something that doesn't change. But do I really? Because this was a pivot. This was an AA that became a response to Uniswap that became a balancer. And when the balancing happened, then the arbitrage went away to popularize HEX. So I'm really curious about what's going to happen in the future. And I do like that there's a consortium, or there's some dead man switches, or there's rules of influence or whatever that Richard can or can't participate in. So I'm just curious how this plays out.
Yeah, it's a good point. I thought about this too. Like what if, when the FUD happened, I was like thinking this through, and I came to the conclusion that basically it's market making, or using it as a tool. The AA and the flush working like it does. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like just a tool to make the market. If there was like double the ETH going in every day, that would be different. But it seems like it changes based on the unit price, not the other way around. So.
Yeah, if it was setting the uni price, I think it would be a little bit different. I think if it was like setting it to, like you said, if it was 2xing the price, then it might be like, whoa, okay, this guy is like, he's the one setting the price. But it honestly seems like almost a buffer. And when it starts going down, like the next day, the Uniswap price goes, or not the Uniswap, but the AA price or the Ethereum that gets in there is down too. It's not like, it's usually just a buffer. Like if it get, and I'm okay with the buffer. It was, it kind of is like, okay, people aren't going to dump it way past the Ethereum that they're not going to get, because then it's smarter to just get into the adoption amplifier.
Absolutely.
So why not just do that? So it does kind of provide as a buffer, but if you want to sell, you can sell too, and you probably are getting a decent price.
So what do you think about this almost free money thing? I messed up because on many of my wallets I already invest. I don't know if I just messed up, but I put it into HEX. What if, as a community, the remainder of the community that still has value to do it was simply to go through the AA, self-refer, do the things you're going to do through the AA, but you're putting in Ethereum. If you're doing that, doesn't that push up the price on the uni also?
No.
Through the AA?
Maybe. It should, but I don't really know.
A worse deal, but you're getting a worse deal. How, right?
Wait, are you saying to get into the AA to like push it up?
Yeah, if you're saying that
it depends on when you got in. If you got in like after the price pump, after the whale pumped it, it might influence the price on the Uniswap, but it could just, it depends on how much you actually moved it. If you put, 10,000 Ethereum in there, you probably are going to move the price on Uniswap. But if it's like you put 100 extra Ethereum in there, nobody's really going to be like, oh, look, instead of 5,500, it's got 5,600 over on or on the AA and not on Uniswap. Let's pump the price. I don't see it working like that. If there was like a huge, there was like a huge gap like I could see something like that, and that's kind of how it is. It's like a gap in the legacy markets where it's just like, it usually fills the gaps when that happens at the end of the day, if from what I've seen.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the economy, on the mass. You can put in, and you would have to know how many free unit tokens are available, and how many people actually can put it into the air, and how much does that affect it. And also, you have every day 500 million coins, so it's hard to judge whether it would have an impact, because if you did it one day, you have to keep it up, to keep pushing the price, or else it would just correct back, I think.
Yeah, I think that they said there's probably close to 800 to 1 billion tokens that are being released out into the ecosphere of Hex every day. So if you times that by 351 days, I mean, that's quite a bit. I mean, it's going to add up to 500, 600 billion coins at the end of it. So
yeah, that's assuming that there's a referral code used every time.
True.
Did you calculate the interest into that, or the 500 million plus everything else, or?
No, I think that's what what I heard Richard say is it's going to be about 500 to 600 billion tokens that will probably be released. And like the closer we get, like I don't know how many there are right now. I can go over and see, but there's like 380 billion or something like that. And then there's going to be like 184 billion that'll be released on the big payday. So, I mean, it's going to be close to that because we're going to still be printing some until that day. So I think that probably around 600 is what probably a good estimate.
But Mr. Vote, I get your question. Daily, it's greater than 500 million because of the referrals. So if you're referring, then you're increasing at least that on that referral, 20% more is being released and then 10% more for them. So that's a 30% more off of one claim. So if all 500 million coins were claimed with referrals, that's 30% more. That'd be 500 million tokens a day, not just 500 million, or 800, not just 500 million.
Yeah.
Did you already talk about what they're showing on the liquidity pools? Not to make this a uni channel, but if I put this in private chat, can you see it in private chat? Let's see. Let me put it in private chat. I'm gonna DM Kinetics.
Okay.
On Telegram. You can see that.
I'm getting tired.
Let's see. Yeah. So right now there's the total supply of Hex right now is 337 billion Hex, and total big payday payout will be 183. So right now that's, what is that? 183 plus 337. So there's 520 billion right now that'll be total supply, and probably in the next 60 days that there's going to be another 80. We'll say 80 billion Hex. So about 600 billion Hex will be released total, it looks like.
So what I was thinking, Kinetics, is the Uniswap pools that they're broadcasting, and they're saying, I guess that once a week, the award of however much gets traded gets distributed. So they have timer up there saying, it's a week-long session. And they have the pools of DAI, USDC, USDT, WBTC, whatever. And I'm wondering, like I said, we do have a lot of potential economic mass of people that are hexagons in general, or people that ever used Uni because of Hex. Some of them don't even know that they have that economic mass available to them. So I'm still curious about what you guys have talked about and what you think is best when it comes to continued participation with Uni, or looking at other platforms like Mooney. What are your thoughts when it comes to this collaborative or synergy or not?
Well, Uniswap has already played their card and not liking Hex, and kind of downplaying us to the point where they people are starting to see, like, I think this was put on by Uniswap, by the way, is hexdex.win. being labeled as a scam site on some of the antivirus software. So that I think that they are the ones that put that out because they didn't want the forked off front end of Uniswap to be put on anything else. So they put out a fake, it's like whatever it's called, that you could fish a phishing site. I think that they're the ones that probably did that. So I wouldn't. I mean, Uniswap. I'm not a. I think that we should pull all of the liquidity off of Uniswap and move it to Mooniswap. To be honest with you. Like if I had my way, and make Mooniswap popular because we made Uniswap popular. Why not? Let's stop making something that gatekeeps us and that hates us popular. Like we already did it. We already tried to get good with them, and why are we continuing to do it after they have said that we're a scam and they're never going to list us and we have to jump through hoops and we make our own sites and stuff like that, and they're going to try to do the antivirus stuff. And it's like, dude, let's just stop doing that and move to Mooniswap, and we don't have to worry about that. Let's pull all the liquidity, and now we have governance over on Uniswap, but I think that we should just dump the price, just dump it on them, and just move over to Uniswap or Mooniswap with it, and just But I'm also not the guy that's holding the. I'm not the one providing liquidity, so I can't.
Well, I've seen you in the throne room, and I've seen the candles behind your. I know you're one of the legionnaires.
Right. I mean that would be my thing, because it's like, dude, I don't think that we should give people that call it, like, do nasty things to us and are going out of their way to gatekeep us to continue to promote them. Like, they gave us money, dump it, and let's move on to the actual decent thing that's not going to do that to us. Because if they're gatekeeping us right now, you don't think like Binance is going to start doing that? Well, they already are. Coinbase and all these, they're all collaborating. So it's like it seems really. I don't know. It seems gross to me in general that they're all doing that.
Do you think taking that free money, and converting it into a legal contract with Mooney to say that the front end, can't be gate kept, and you can't change your mind down the road when if they do end up competing with Uniswap somehow, if they get enough volume and participation with Uniswap and they become a competitor to Uniswap, do you think that might be something to use that money for?
Yeah, I mean, as long as they don't gatekeep us, it doesn't. I mean, do we really need to even do that? Like,
what's a handshake? I mean, they don't get offered a lot of money to gatekeep you.
True. Yeah, that's awesome. That's true. I mean, they already have their Chi token, so they already have a token for their platform, and so.
I thought that's is that 1 inch? Is that
well, 1 inch is Mooniswap. It's the exact same thing. So like it's their like front end for their 1 inch exchange. It's just the same thing. It's their Uniswap for it's the same thing.
It's the simpler UI.
Yeah.
1 inch. Yeah.
But I don't know if it does the aggregation that it does on 1 inch.
It does.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Yeah, I think it's like the Uniswap. I think it's like how Uniswap, where you can provide liquidity and you can use it. And same with like hex.vision or go.hex. Or what is it? Uniswap.hex.vision. Excuse me. Dude, Firebun is killing it, dude. But we're doing all this stuff out of the kindness of our hearts, and they're continuing to gatekeep us. It's like we could do this stuff over on Mooniswap and dude, tell the Uniswap or the Uniswap guys to just piss off and just be like, dude, we're not gonna, because he's doing all those charts. If you look at how many charts he has on here, he has hundreds of charts for these guys. You can even look up Uni right now, the price of Uni on there, because he's already done it. He's done this all for the Uniswap guys, and they continue to gatekeep us. He's the only one that has done this for the Uniswap, and nobody else is doing it. But they're gonna continue, and we're Hex. So it's like, why continue to provide liquidity to give you guys free publicity to do all this when you're just going to continue to gatekeep us? Let's move over to somewhere else that's not gatekeeping us.
Well, I think what you're saying, Hex, sounds good, Hexo, but actually doesn't make sense, because I think it's the same problem you have with Dlive. You would like to be on YouTube, but they don't like you. They throw you off. So we are at Uniswap because that's where the economic mass is. It's not on Uniswap, or on 1inch exchange, because that's just not where the people are. The people
But
are on
I didn't
Uniswap.
I didn't make YouTube popular.
Yeah,
Hex made Uniswap popular, and now it's starting to onboard people. The only reason Uniswap is popular, not to say that there isn't some, like there's a bunch of scams that made it somewhat popular, sushi and all these other things, but honestly, there's not a whole lot of volume that is going through Uniswap that's legit projects that have been going around for 10 months. I don't see any that have been around for 10 months that are, you can do chain link or whatever you want. We made Uniswap popular. Like, why are we like, let's make something else popular instead of keep throwing money at something that doesn't like us. It's like, like I think, and that's true, Alan, like it is like, but it sucks that I have to tell my friends that got into Uniswap or got into Hex, and they're like, hey, where's hexdex.win? Or, it's like, well, they shut it. It's down. Oh, what happened there? It's complicated. Just go use the, it's like you can't use the drop down. I mean, now they've made it so you can do the lists. So that's actually better. Like but it sucks that it's just like how I told you guys when I got kicked off of YouTube. Everybody's like, oh, I see. That's kind of how it feels like when hexdex.win went down, where you got to tell people that you got involved with the coin. Like, all right, well, we just got kicked off. This site just got kicked off, but it's not really a scam, guys. It's like they just keep doing this stuff to us. And it's like we just keep, turning the other cheek to where it's like, do we really need to turn the other cheek to the point where we're just like, we got like battered wife syndrome or something? Like, let's just move to somewhere else to where it's like
Hex can't be gatekept, And even though that hexdex.win is down, it doesn't matter to us at all. And I actually think it's good that we don't have hexdex.win anymore, because think about it. I could make a front end that it's called hexdex.win, but with a capital I, for example, that it looks pretty much the same. And I built my own token, put my address in it, call it Hex, and then everybody who's buying Hex on there is like actually just buying my token.
Right.
So hexdex.win was nice when it was out, but it's good that we don't have that anymore.
No, I agree with you. I do like the lists way better.
Way better if we educate us Hexicans to take the address, the Hex address, and put it into Uniswap. It's like the best way to buy crypto at all.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I do like that we don't have to worry about something like that, because that it's bound to be something like that where somebody's gonna make one with an extra I or a W or an N or something like that, and
like a Russian I. It's exactly the same and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I think of the Uniswap again. These are human beings. People like Farbun and Steph and other people that are have connection like Kyle and things like that outside, because they're all developers. I think that when they make their olive branch kind of connection, it actually goes through. I have to tell a little positive story. It's amazing actually. I put money into Uniswap X, which is the way that you can set the price. You can say when it rises to this price, then sell. If it drops down to this price, then buy. And I put, I think I had 8% of my holding or something. It wasn't 8%. It was no. Wait a minute. It was about $5,000. I had about $5,000 that was in there. And if the price went to a certain point, it was going to execute automatically. So you don't have to pay attention to the price. Something happened in the contract, and this was only like a few weeks ago. Something happened in the contract that when I went to check, the order no longer was there. They had changed from Uniswap X to be Pine.finance. And so I go to check, and I'm like, okay, the website changed. And then I was like, okay, it's still on, the contract is still the same. Nothing changed about the contract, but it wasn't coming up with the order, my order history on that. I was like, that's not good, right? That's not good at all. Like, I don't want this to be a case of a problem. And so I reached out to Kyle, and Kyle, again, somebody that is very Hex familiar, knows everything about Hex, and did a lot as far as the lay guide and all these other things. He's an olive branch kind of advocate and contact inside this smaller community, and he participates in lots of Telegram rooms that are not Hex. And he's just curious about the research and how things work in general, and he's super brain when it comes to all the Solidity programming, things like that, and he has that respect. So he reached out to them, and he ended up, like, within 48 hours, he had all the answers that were necessary, and he walked me through basically having to execute the code myself and walk back a transaction. So their interface, their front end, had some screwy thing. The contract was valid. It was a good contract. It had been in operation like 8 or 9 months. And my first experiment with it, suddenly I'd lost $5,000. So I was like, fuck that. I'm an idiot, right? And then Kyle was able to walk me through all the stuff I needed to do on my computer in order to find all kinds of address stuff and walk back the transaction in general because of however their front end had executed. The contract was valid. The order still stood, but it wasn't transparent in allowing me to trigger their front end element. So this community, I don't know anybody else inside crypto that doesn't have a vested interest in me specifically that would help me in that way. I think this is really a collaborative environment. And if you say maybe going to Uniswap would be useful because they are of the same mindset, I say yes, that would be great. But you also have to look at, are you going to start up, like to Alan's point, that you're on Uniswap because that's where the coins are that people are trading. You're on Uniswap because it can execute to USDC or whatever it might be, and there's liquidity provided. Do you think that moving to Mooney, if there's a legal contract that says you can't gatekeep, you have to be authentic and true to crypto principles, something like that, I think that switching to Mooney would be worthwhile and newsworthy. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'd rather see us on Mooney, but I mean, it isn't my money to even provide the liquidity. So I guess it's whoever is providing the liquidity, and that's their choice to do that. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think that we should be on Mooney. I think that Uniswap and Mooniswap or any of these decentralized exchanges should just be decentralized exchange and do exactly what their name says, as being decentralized and not being able to gatekeep. It sucks that you could have any random scam on there, but that's just that's what's going to happen with a decentralized platform. And if you put something out there that you say is decentralized, you should probably upkeep your name and actually be decentralized instead of, oh, we're a decentralized exchange, but we're really not, because we gatekeep things that we don't like, and we'll shut you out if we don't like what you even things that you do. Like it doesn't even like, you can be a sushi coin or a yam coin and fall apart in 2 days, and that's okay. But if you've been going around for 10 months, we're gonna still call you a scam, and we're gonna gatekeep you. It's disgusting. Like that's anti crypto. Like, I think that we should just I don't know if you could make your own exchange or something like that, but how hard is it to fork off the Uniswap code? I'm sure it's not that hard.
But that's probably the easy part. The hard part is actually getting people on there.
To add liquidity for pairs.
Well, right now we do have a community that has a lot of liquidity that isn't even in their own pocket. They have a unit that they could convert into ETH, and they already probably have HEX if they're in a liquid position. There's something like 80-something% of people have liquid HEX to be the balancer. So they right now have $2,500 across however many people that still haven't done the trade into something else yet. So we do have the potential to provide liquidity, whether it's OA or not. It may not be massive, but it's potential. And everything kind of moves. If it's good intention and it's not hostile, decks or something, maybe that's a better method. But again, I would love to hear Richard's kind of thoughts about it.
I feel like in the future, everybody's going to, like, your coin is just going to have you're going to have your own decentralized exchange. Like, why wouldn't you? And you can provide your own liquidity there. Like, why do we rely on these central parties to open a decentralized exchange? Like, so you could trade into a different coin. Like, why don't you just start up your fork your zone off and you can trade into a different coin? I'm sure there's ways to aggregate, just like what Mooniswap does, to other coins. it seems like I don't know how hard it is. I'm not a programmer. I'm just saying things like, why wouldn't you start moving that way?
It becomes the MTL and a money transmitter licensure. It's the same thing with like Cedric Dahl has gone through, Roger Ver has gone through, all these other people that have started exchanges, McAfee, Koss. I mean, there's reasons that ones become popularized, and sometimes it's due to legal jurisdiction, and sometimes it's supposed to, we're completely hands off. If it's completely
those are centralized, but
what?
not those are centralized. I'm talking about like a decentralized exchange to just interact with like maybe a Uniswap, but you're on your own exchange and you're just like, oh, okay, this is how much it goes for just Ethereum. So if if you just had it for Ethereum, a Ethereum only trading pair that you could just go to, like, a Hex Dex, and you could just change, for Ethereum. And if you wanted to, exchange for Ethereum to go to something else, then you had to go to a different exchange to exchange for that. I feel like, right. I don't understand why that's not a thing. Like
every coin having an Ethereum pairing, but every coin having its own
it makes up their own liquidity, because I don't know. It seems like the way to go after I just don't understand the gatekeeping from Uniswap. It's disgusting to me, to be honest with you.
I agree.
Yeah, it's all about the toilet tube, the toilet roll.
Where's the paper towel roll?
Yeah.
Paper towel.
Jeez. Yeah. Well, guys, I'm probably gonna get off for the night. I'm pretty tired, so.
Yeah,
sure,
we're almost at that 4-hour mark.
It's only 1:30 over here. Come on now.
Yeah, it's only 11:30 where I'm at, but
yeah. Well, I'm in the same time zone as Hexo, and I've been up since I don't even remember when I woke up.
Yeah, my baby keeps me awake all night, so I don't know when I get up, when I go to sleep, because it's just like, oh, I'm awake. Okay, I can go to sleep for 20 minutes.
While Alan's on, if you have a website or if you have a tutorial or anything like that about how you make your comics, I would subscribe, more than just like a YouTube channel kind of thing where it's just as a freebie. But I think he's got great ideas, and if he's got great graphic talent, and if you were to make something that was like a tutorial that I paid for or something, I think you're great. I think more people could pick up those skills and promote whatever product or project, including Hex.
Yeah, man. And another thing is like how I did on Dlive, where you just do your Photoshop, just do it, just stream it, man. Like you're there sitting bored anyway. You can talk to the chat while you're doing it, and people will give you good ideas. Like, oh, you should do something like, or oh, you should do a meme like this. Like, just spitballing ideas for you if you wanted to do that. Already.
I consumed all the content that is out there about Hex. I watched the Discourse Syndicate. I watch your show every day. And while I consume Hex content, I produce Hex content as well.
Oh, you do?
So,
okay.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it, man. You have really good stuff.
I remember when the Hexologist was doing that. I mean, like he was, in the chat room, he would pop in, and then he would say, "Hey, I'm going to make a meme. Anybody want to watch me?" Like the first memes he was making.
Like a year before Hex, when it was Bitcoin Hex still. It was Bitcoin. Yeah. I was making memes, but man, it's the 4 week memes were my favorite ones, because man, that was a year long 4 weeks. A long time.
Love it. So it sounds like you're gonna sign out. Everybody's gonna close down.
Well, RG3 said there was nothing in the treasure chest. I think Grandma just doesn't know how to use the treasure chest. So,
well, there ain't gonna be nothing left in like 20 minutes. So
we need to send him the flip phone that has the enlarged button,
the big button, the jitterbug. Yeah, I used to sell those, the jitterbug.
Oh,
with the big display. The numbers are all big, yeah.
So he can press the buttons while he's shaking?
Yeah, that's right.
You need that pendant necklace that says, "Help, I fell and I can't get up."
Yeah. It's got the call sign on his necklace. All right, guys. Well, he said that he'd make it super fat. He'd do a 5K release out of the plus whatever's already in the chest on Monday. So make sure to be here, guys. We got 509 followers. We're trying to get to that 1,000. There will be a 1 million Hex giveaway. Follow RG3 on Twitter as well as following us here on the Discourse Syndicate. And I really appreciate all you Hexicans showing up today. It was good to meet some of you guys face-to-face streaming. Haven't got to see you guys before, and it's always a pleasure when we can have the man, the myth, and the legend himself, Mr. Hexologist, showing up on our show.
Beanologist, formerly Beanologist, if you're from the Bean crowd.
That's right. That's right. Running backwards through cornfields, growing beans. Yep, that's our Hexologist.
Coming together.
That's right. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us, and this is your Discourse Syndicate.